times it's had a lowering, almost a funnel-like feature, almost all the way down to what I would call the second peak there in the middle. Very, very broad rotation area here, and the storm rapidly increased in size as we were in Snyder just about 15, 20 minutes ago when we talked to you during the earlier show. And now you can see how broad this is. We almost can't pull out wide enough to show it to you. So folks in Southwest Oklahoma, Roosevelt area over toward Cooperton, and eventually, even up maybe halfway up to Hobart there. Be weather aware, maybe some big hail coming in with this as well. Mike, we're going to continue to track it. Back to you.
So, Mark, I do want to stay on your shot. We're going to briefly go over to Corey Inman, who's also there. This is also tracking toward Emily Sutton, who's in Caddo County, downstream from this. Let's go over to Max 1, show you the time of arrival. That's a big mesocyclone there, so here's the time of arrival for that supercell. Tennis ball to baseball size hail, tornado warning in effect. There's your time of arrival. Cooperton at 6 o'clock, Sedan, Mears, Mountain View, Carnegie, Apache by 6:43. From there, the motion from that supercell in southwest Oklahoma takes it over into Caddo County. Then we're talking about Anadarko, Chickasha, Minko, Blanchard, Yukon, Norman, Moore by 7:41 to 7:55. That's the time of arrival of that supercell, moving east-northeasterly between 40 and 50 miles per hour. Let's go back over to Corey Inman here, tracking that storm as well. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, I'm south of Carnegie, looking back to the southwest. You're looking directly into the heart of the storm. I'm going to pan the camera to the left for you, Mike, and you can see this feeder cloud that is formed up really quickly, transporting all that moisture into that area of rotation there back to the southwest. And that's something that we haven't seen in quite a while. I know we didn't see it in the springtime, was the southeast surface winds on storm days pumping that moisture in. So as this thing continues to track to the northeast, it's definitely getting its act together. People from Roosevelt up to Hobart, Carnegie, and on over to Apache need to pay attention as this thing moves in, Mike.
Corey, thank you. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard, get an update here from Mark. Our other tracker there really right at point-blank range on that mesocyclone. It intensified very quickly. It's a large mesocyclone. Look how low to the ground all the scud is as well. So Tom Steed, this is where this is located. Cooperton, Kiowa County, southwest Oklahoma, moving quickly to the east-northeast. Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike, I just want to point out as I kind of pan across the base there, the area in the front that's got a little more light on it, that's slowly rotating to the north. And then on the backside, that area is slowly rotating to the south. It got a little tighter about 5 minutes ago, and then it kind of widened out. I think that's probably why they dropped the tornado warning on it. The velocity picked up very quickly. Now it's kind of broadened out a little bit, maybe even blown itself out or been undercut a little bit, but continue with the tornado warning and probably some pretty good-sized hail back in there as well. And we're getting still lifting scud in all the areas that you would see it in a developing supercell thunderstorm like this. And when the rotation gets broad like this, Mike, oftentimes we can see funnels drop out in several sections, and if it would continue to do that, those are indicative of long track situations. So we want everybody to be very, very aware going into the evening and into the nighttime hours what kind of situation we're dealing with here. Mike, back to you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and hold that shot right here. Let's hold that shot. Let's go back over to the Dillard shot. Let me show this to you. So here's the low-level inflow feeder band coming in from the northeast. Here's the mesocyclone right here. Kind of blocky looking in nature with inflow coming in from the southeast as well. So this is feeding, and we have something here coming down right here in the middle of the mesocyclone. Blocky looking, which is a sign of strength, has inflow in two directions coming in from the northeast and also coming in from the southeast. So this is why a tornado warning is in effect. Let's go back over to the maps on Max 1. So this is in southwest Oklahoma, Kiowa County. You can clearly see how the supercell has taken shape here very quickly with a hook echo, and hail size looks to be baseball or larger, 2.75 or larger size hail. Roosevelt, also want to point out to you how fast that supercell is moving. It is moving east-northeast between 40 and 44 miles per hour. There's your time of arrival of that tornado-warned supercell right here in Kiowa County, up toward Apache eventually, and then we head further down the line here. We're talking about the central and south metro here, the way it's heading right now. Chickasha 709, Minko 719, Blanchard 734, Yukon. That'll also be more in Norman just before 8 p.m. on that supercell in southwestern Oklahoma. And there is your Norman timeline, 749, along with more. So moving pretty quickly to the east-northeast. The velocities here, the inflow is coming in, the wraparound coming in the green. So the circulation center very close to Tom Steed Lake right now. In fact, the circulation on the inflow is increasing quickly now. So this could be literally a tornado at any time. Impressive large supercell down in southwest Oklahoma. The rest of these storms are not so much supercellular, but they're very heavy with embedded areas of developing hail and intense lightning. We have one supercell so far, just one. We want zero, but if you can't have zero, you want just one. Right now, one big supercell down in southwest Oklahoma. That inflow, again, has really skyrocketed just in the past couple of minutes. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard, get that look at it live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Storm's slowly drifting off, or I guess actually quickly drifting off.
Right.
But it's so broad that it appears, just looking at it, it's a bit slower, but it's quickly moving off. But the area of concern is kind of drifted north now, and you can see that large area of rotation there more to the north from the mountaintops than it was over there at Tom Steed. So we're going to continue to track this. We're going to be up in Cooperton in just a few minutes, and we'll continue to track it north and east, Mike.
Mark, thank you. Let's go over to Corey Inman looking at this as well. It's also heading directly for Emily Sutton over in Caddo County. Corey Inman here live with his tracker unit. Tornado warning continues for southern and eastern Kiowa County. Right now, Roosevelt and Tom Steed Lake. Cooperton moving quickly to the east-northeast. Corey Inman, go.
Yeah, Mike, headed south here from Carnegie, looking back to the southwest, and you can make out the lowering there. Actually, it's just on the other side of the mountains now in the shot. So we're going to head west here and see if we can clear the mountains and get you a better view of it. But a large lowering back there just to the southwest continues to track off to the north-northeast.
You're right now southbound from Carnegie. Your view is going to be improving dramatically here, literally just in the next few minutes. Hail size looks to be at least 2.75, perhaps even 3 inches in diameter. Let's go back over to radar here and show you right now one supercell in the state, this large, impressive supercell that formed very fast. Tornado warning came out very quickly on it. Now right over Tom Steed Lake, moving up toward Cooperton, Saddle Mountain. From there, Boone and Apache. Emily's up here in Apache, located right here in Caddo County. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard here live with an update. Mark?
Yes, Mike, we're just repositioning up to Cooperton now from basically looking due west at Tom Steed. So it's, it's very, very broad. I'd give it, the base is running from probably Roosevelt back down to Tom Steed, so that's got to be about 5 miles, if not a little wider, areas of rotation, and basically the lip of the north side there is up there at Roosevelt. So we're going to move up to Cooperton and continue to track this, Mike. Back to you.
Let's go to Corey Inman here live, who's closing in on it quickly. The inflow has really increased dramatically just in the past 7 or 8 minutes or so. Tornado warning continues up toward Cooperton, Saddle Mountain, near and just north of Mount Scott. Go Corey Inman.
Yeah, Mike, you're exactly right. And right now, the Wichita Mountains here are obscuring our view as we turn the corner. I'll pan the camera for you, but this thing comes through the mountains. Once it crosses through, we should have a really good shot of it here just to our southwest, Mike.
That is Corey Inman there reporting live for the tornado-warned storm. Let's go back over to radar. So we just have one supercell. If you can't have zero, you just want one, but it is a big supercell with hail here that appears to be somewhere between 2.75 and 3.5 inches in diameter. It looks like giant hail coming out of Roosevelt, Tom Steed, with that tornado-warned supercell. Clearly a classic supercell with a hook here, moving to the east-northeast between 40 and 43 miles per hour now. There's your time of arrival. Mountain View, Carnegie, Apache by 6:43, and then from there the motion will basically continue pretty much in close to a straight line and that'll take it over to Chickasha, Minko, Blanchard 731, Yukon 739, and Moore, Norman 749. So anywhere in the central and south metro, at least for the time being, appears to be where this particular supercell is tracking. Here's the velocity signature. The green is toward the radar, the Doppler, and the red is away, but showing especially strong inflow into that mesocyclone there over Cooperton, running at about 60 miles per hour aloft, feeding into the mesocyclone here. So it may not take long for this to produce tornadic activity. Again, classic supercell there with a big hook. These are producing hail here, lightning, thunder, but are not supercellular in nature. That's good. Corn Colony up toward Gary, Grainfield, Hinton, Red Rock Canyon area, and then from there northward up to north of Watonga and near and east of Hennessy. A little bit of rotation up there, but not very strong. Here's Oklahoma County. The nearest storms to us are around Calumet right now. These have a little bit of rotation with them, so we have to watch those storms very carefully. Let's go to Eric Dixon, who's in Calumet right now, looking at those small rotating storms right there in Canadian County.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on it out here. There's a little bit of a boundary out to the west of Oklahoma City, and all this stuff's going to eventually progress into the metro area, and we're also going to keep an eye on that stuff coming out of the southwest. One thing I would kind of stress is for, people start wrapping up their activities tonight and know where your safe spot is. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, Eric, we do appreciate that. Back over to Max 1. Let's check out the lightning rates, kind of give you a broader view. Here's Oklahoma County right here. Here's the tornado-warned supercell here, and then lightning and thunder coming up, increasing rates there of lightning in eastern Ouachita County over into Caddo County, and also increasing lightning up in north central Oklahoma as well. Right now, as far as tornado potential, it's all about this one big supercell coming out of Kiowa County. From there, it moves into Caddo County. From Caddo County, it'll head into Grady County, Verdon, Chickasha area. From there, it's going to head into McLean and Cleveland County, Blanchard, Purcell, Norman, Moore is where that's tracking. You see the clear track right there, east-northeast at just over 40 miles per hour, moving along pretty quickly. That's the trend here as we head through the 7 and 8 o'clock hour coming out of southwestern Oklahoma. There's your storm timeline. Still looks to be, give or take, 7:30, 8 o'clock, west-east, right across the I-35 corridor, and then deeper into the overnight hours, they'll be to the east of Oklahoma City, and we'll have the cold front come through. It'll turn sharply cooler once this line of storms moves on through. But right now, we're really focused on these developing storms in Canadian County. Storm trackers are here, and then back down into southwestern Oklahoma, big supercell with at least 3-inch diameter hail. Very impressive, very strong mesocyclone here with that tornado warning in effect. And there is your time for arrival right there. East-northeast at just over 40 miles per hour takes it to the I-35 corridor in that 7:30 to 8 p.m. time frame. So let's go back over to hail size. There it is, looking baseball size or a little bit larger. Clearly a big supercell with a big, deep, well-established, strong hook, and inflow there coming into it very, very strong. So all the indications here of a tornadic supercell. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard, one of our many trackers out there. Storm is heading directly for Caddo County, where Emily Sutton's located as well. Mark?
Yes, Mike, just dealing with a little chaser convergence, which is, all the people that are out chasing just pulled off in the road or just off to the side. There seems to be a developing bowl shape. I'm going to pull over here and get a better shot. Just let me clear some of this traffic here. It's going to be to the south and west of Cooperton, and probably just over, if not back to the south and east of Roosevelt. Very, very large feature. Let me just get resituated here, Mike. Just 1 second, making a turn, and we'll show it to you here. It's just over. Looks like it's going to be back to the south and west of my location here at almost just south of Cooperton. This area is so broad and moving very, very rapidly towards us, but it's also rotating very rapidly, Mike, and it's coming very, very, very low to the ground. These kind of situations are very indicative of large-scale tornadic situations where there can be lowerings that come out all along the leading edges and wrapping around in a carousel effect. I've seen it many times, unfortunately, in the same areas of the state that we're in right now, coming to and along the I-44 corridor. And I don't think I need to name the dates of those major outbreaks. But this is the kind of situation we're dealing with, Mike, and it's going to get dark pretty soon, and the visibility is going to be very, very limited. So once these storms come to you, you need to have your tornado precautions in effect right away. Back to you, Mike.
Let's go back over to Max 1. It looks very much like a tornado's on the ground now. Looking at radar, the curlicue coming all the way around. Inflow is tremendous coming into it. Looks like there's potential of a significant tornado on the ground right now on the southern side of Cooperton. Clearly, you can see the curlicue. That is likely the tornado vortex signature itself, and it looks quite large. Inflow is tremendous coming into it. So Cooperton, Saddle Mountain, Boone, and Apache. All right, you folks, go to your tornado safe spot and go there now. It's moving your way. It looks to be potentially a large tornado. There is a tornado warning and a TVS there, tornado vortex signature, and happening very, very quickly. The inflow is so strong, it looks likely that a tornado now is on the ground. Let's go back over to Corey Inman with an update here from Corey. Corey, it is a beast down there.
Traffic.
Yeah, Mike, we're still south of Carnegie here, looking back to the southwest, and you can see directly in the center of the shot there, kind of zoomed in for you. That's where the lowering that Mark has been talking about is about. That's where it's at. Just went behind the mountain there, so it's moving to the northeast towards Carnegie. Should stay to the southeast of Carnegie, and then go over towards the Apache area and up towards Fort Cobb. So we're here in front of it, and
tornado.
Continue to track you.
Over to Mark Dillard.
Mark.
The storm has turned hard right. Let's go back over to Max 1. Let's go to Mark Dillard. Looks like a tornado on the ground here. The storm has turned hard right, moving east, northeast. So Saddle Mountain, Mount Scott, very close to Medicine Park, Mears, over to Elgin, Cement, Cyril, Boone, Apache. Dangerous situation here. Looks to be a developing large tornado on the ground right now. Mark Dillard's looking right at it. Mark, tornado on the ground.
Yes, Mike, very dangerous situation. Head of it on the north side, getting back into the south. Dangerous situation for the folks in Cooperton. Got
tornado.
Rotating dust, lifting dust right now, Mike. It's tornado on the ground for sure on the north side of the main wraparound rotation. I'm going to have to get out of it, Mike. It's wrapped on.
So you're looking here at a situation with a developing large tornado right now. This is going to be Corey Inman and Mark Dillard here, also heading up toward Emily, who's in southern Caddo County. So dangerous situation here, developing large tornado, lots of suction spots, lots of dust and light debris being picked up into the tornadic circulation. Looking at it right here, this is from Corey Inman. Storm has turned hard to the right. And when Mark Dillard's stream comes back up, just tell me, control room, we will take that. Let's go to Mark Dillard's live stream. He's in a cell area that is not very good because of the mountains down here in southwest Oklahoma. But here is the area, the tornado developing, and it's on the ground right now. Big tornado here developing with tremendous inflows. So very dangerous down in southwestern Oklahoma. Let's go to Corey Inman here live. Corey? So Corey is also tracking that. Let's go back over to Max 1, show you where this is located right now. So big hook here. Tornado vortex signature, tornado confirmed on the ground, very close to Cooperton. From Cooperton to Saddle Mountain, just to the north of Mears and Medicine Park and Lake Latonka. From there, Boone and Apache, tornado safe spot away from windows. Mobile homes are not safe, and tornado strength winds. A confirmed tornado with lots of suction spots and debris feeding up into a vigorous, very powerful mesocyclone. Pushing almost due eastward now, looks to be significant, and possibly a large tornado here. Confirmed on the ground, certainly saw our storm trackers just moments ago. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard here with an update. Mark?
Yes, Mike, I'm just kind of stuck in this chaser convergence. We're trying to get ahead of it north and east, and that's going to be the trick tonight, is to stay ahead of this storm as it's rapidly moving. I've also got a ton of lifting dust and blowing dust coming into it from the north side, and we had a rotating tornado all the way down to the ground. It was, well, I'm going to describe it as a satellite on the north side, Mike, and rapidly pulling back into it on the north side, and I couldn't even see through down into the south side. I'm coming into winds right now due north winds pulling back behind me of every bit of 60, 65 miles an hour on the north side. I'm talking about 2 or 3 miles out ahead of the main circulation center, Mike. It's indicative of a long track, large tornado situation, and you don't want to be caught up in it. In fact, it's very dangerous to be with this line of traffic on this highway. So many people may be back behind there that don't really see what's going on. I'm worried about their safety. So if you're in the area down here near Cooperton, south of Carnegie, take your tornado precautions right now, Mike. I'm in a hurricane of crosswinds and blowing spray. Point the camera straight in front of us, George. I'm with George Weaver here. Just coming across here, you can see it. This drive and it put away from the main circulation that's back to our south. Mike, back to you.
Okay, tornado warning continues. Indications of a significant large tornado on the ground. Very poor visibility around the tornado as it continues to develop down in southwestern Oklahoma. Let's go back over to Max 1 and show you what we have going on here. So now here it is, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's the I-35 corridor right here. Storms are back down to our southwest. These have hail and heavy lightning with them, but they're non-supercell storms. That's good. We can handle non-supercell storms. There may be developing damaging hail in these and also damaging winds. Confirmed wind gusts of near 80 miles per hour, confirmed 80 down in the Altus area. So we have one very large supercell down here with likely a large and dangerous tornado. It appears multi-vortex in structure. You can see it's basically a sink drain down here on the southeast side of Cooperton. Mark Diller joins us live. Mark?
That's the cell service. Everybody's on the cells.
So let's go back over to Max 2 and look at the velocities. So this is what we have right here, showing the red and the green. Definitely a tornado vortex signature there for a while. Likely could still be one. It's weakened a bit as it comes into the very northwestern corner of Comanche County, but there is tremendous inflow coming into this mesocyclone. So it could certainly still be on the ground, although it's not quite as impressive as it was just moments ago. But you see where it's tracking over into Caddo County, Apache, Boone area. So let's go back over to Max 1. And on Max 1, this will be affecting, the more it turns to the right, we're talking more and more the south metro down toward Purcell and Chickasha. The more it turns more easterly. When the tornado's been on the ground, the motion is more easterly than northeasterly. So it's heading basically for Caddo County, southern Caddo County, Verdon, Chickasha, Rush Springs. You folks, Ninnekah, you folks all stay very, very alert. Hail size between 2.75 and 3.5 inches in diameter. So likely a large tornado here, likely still on the ground. Looks like even potentially some type of debris ball signature there, a core inside of the tornado vortex signature there showing up. Northwestern corner of Comanche County, so near and north of Medicine Park and Mears and Lake Latonka, heading directly for Boone and Apache. Boone and Apache heading directly for you. Here's your time of arrival. Don't take this lightly. Visibility is terrible out there. The clouds are right down on the deck and you can't see anything. So that's a dangerous situation. Chickasha there just after 7:15. Mark Dillard live. Mark?
Yes, Mike, just trying to find our way out of this core here. We're having to punch out to the north to get to the east road coming out of Cooperton. This thing really overran a lot of the chaser traffic that was on Highway 54 here. It's a really, really bad situation as far as that goes. With some people who may or may not really know what they're looking at, it was so low to the ground. We're making a turn right now on Highway 19 to try to get out to the east of it and get around the mountain. So we're catching some hail right now, probably quarters, and the wind. It's virtually a ground hurricane, Mike. The wind is just crazy down here. So we're making the turn right now, and we're going to be able to hopefully get out ahead of it. That's the trick here, is with some of these roads around these mountains, is just getting out ahead of it. So we're just basically in a ground hurricane down here with blowing spray and a little bit of hail coming in on us. The main circulation is still going to be off to our south and west. At the time I saw it, it had satellite funnels on the north side, very rapidly pulling into the center of circulation, indicative of a large wedge-type tornado situation that we've seen so many times start here in southwest Oklahoma and work toward the central Oklahoma area. I have to really beg and plead with people, if you're in the path of this storm, you take your tornado precautions and hunker down. It's very vicious. Mike, back to you.
Let's go back over to Max 1. If you're just now joining us, we've been anticipating severe weather. We've had what appears to be a significant tornado, may well still be on the ground, down in southeastern Kiowa County and northwestern Comanche County, moving pretty quickly to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Here's the tornado watch until 10 p.m. tonight, which does include the entire Oklahoma City metro. Severe thunderstorm warnings, 80-mile-an-hour winds just reported around Altus and Altus Air Force Base, so severe thunderstorm warnings there. Severe thunderstorm warnings Kiowa into Caddo County, far northern Comanche County, all moving east-northeast around 40 to 42 miles an hour. You can see where it's heading, generally for the central and south metros, where it appears to be heading right now, and the timeline on that is going to be in that 7:30 to 8 o'clock time frame. It's now 6:10, so 7:15, 7:30 to the 8 o'clock time frame. There's Oklahoma City. Here's down through Moore and Norman. It's to the southwest of the metro, tracking to the east-northeast. The main upper-level disturbance now coming out, so we've seen explosive development. Storms up around Perry are potentially severe, but right now, no major rotation there. That's good. There's a beast of a supercell here with likely a significant and perhaps a large tornado. You can see the sink drain effect of the tornado here in the northwestern corner of Comanche County. Very strong mesocyclone, hail size between 2.75 and 3.5 inches in diameter. The hook is staying open. The inflow is keeping the hook open and not closing or falling in on itself. That's the problem going forward. It has all the indications of what we call a cyclic tornadic supercell that could produce a long track tornado or cycling through tornadoes between now and literally midnight tonight from west to east ahead of this particular track. Hail size still running right about baseballs. It came down a little bit here in the past couple of scans, but you see east of here, this is where it's heading. Chickasha, Rush Springs, you folks stay very, very alert. It's tracking your way. The hook is opened right back up again with another, what appears to be TVS forming right now. So here's your time of arrival. You need to take this very seriously. Visibility is terrible down here. Clouds are right down on the deck, and the storm's moving fast, which lowers your response time. So Boone, Apache, Elgin, Anadarko, Verdon, Chickasha, Alec at 7:25. From there, east-northeastward motion takes that into the central and south metro. So we're talking about Goldsby right here. So Goldsby at 7:49. Could go as far north as downtown Oklahoma City, but probably the south metro looks to be where this particular storm is heading. And there's downtown, there's Moore, there's Norman, there's Purcell, and there is the supercell. So you can pretty much, it's going to travel pretty much in a straight line. So you can see where it's going. Pretty much Purcell, Norman, could go as far north as Moore, and we're looking at that 7:15 to 8:15 time frame crossing the I-35 corridor. This storm behind it also is a supercell with a developing area of rotation, so that is heads up for Lawton, Elgin, Rush Springs, and Lindsay, okay? Ahead of that particular storm there, rapidly forming supercellular characteristics. So we now have two big supercells down in southwestern Oklahoma, moving east-northeast at just over 40 miles per hour. Let's go back over to Corey Inman, looking at it live. It is a beast down there. Tornado warning very much continues with a large, vigorous circulation. Corey?
West of Boone, storm continues just off to our west, and Mark's right. There's just a tremendous amount of people out here we're having to navigate through. Service is kind of spotty, but storm continues just to the west, tracking almost directly east.
Let's go back over to Mark Dillard here. Mark, tell us what you see now. Mark Dillard, go. Okay, so cell service down there is really poor. There are a lot of folks out there doing EM business and keeping their local communities informed and such. So this is being driven by a powerful upper level disturbance. So these are not going to go away. They're going to keep tracking to the east-northeast. So downstream from these, you need to stay very alert and be ready to go to that tornado safe spot. The clouds are very low to the ground. Circulation is very intense, especially for October. Certainly every bit of an early mid-May storm right here on our hands, coming out of northwestern Comanche County up toward Caddo County. Let's go to Emily Sutton here live. She's in Caddo County with an update. Emily?
Hi, Mike. Yes, we are watching the storms. In fact, our view is the view of the tornadic storm. It's still a little bit far away from us, but it is tracking east-northeast. So it looks like it'll move just south of Anadarko, but we're trying to have a good view of it.
Longer than I wanted to.
It is wrapping in. So it's going to be heading towards Apache, towards Cyril and Anadarko. And then, Mike, this is kind of spot on with what the models have been showing in the afternoon, that this looks like the supercell. If it holds together, that will track into the South Metro. So we are having everybody be prepared for what could be a tornadic storm, or at least some very high winds and large hail. Kevin Josephy and I are keeping a close eye on this. We have about 45 minutes of daylight left. We're keeping a close eye right over this hill. That's where we would see it, this tornadic storm, and we're going to follow this storm and the line of storms as it moves into the metro this evening. Mike.
Emily, thank you. We'll check back with you for sure. Let's go back over to Max 1. So here's a little broader view. Oklahoma County here, Cleveland County, McLean County, Grady County, back down through Caddo County, and then into far northwestern Comanche County and the southeastern tip of Kiowa County. Also a supercell down by Snyder with confirmed 80-mile-an-hour winds. So we're going to have two supercells here coming out of southwestern Oklahoma. They're going to basically travel in a straight line to the east-northeast at around 40 to 42 miles per hour. They're moving very quickly, and this is a beast of a supercell down here. Very dangerous. Hail size 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter. Straight line winds 80 miles per hour plus, and the hook is staying open, so the inflow is incredibly strong, keeping the rotation balanced and keeping it continuing to produce tornadic activity. So that's what we have going forward, and that is not going to change as it heads right on toward the I-35 corridor through Apache, through Chickasha, Nenakaw, and then from there over through Purcell and Norman is where this one is tracking, moving to the east-northeast at 42 miles per hour. Big hook here. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard. It's now just to the north of Mount Scott. Mark?
Yes, Mike, and we're still trying to fight to get out of it. We are literally right on the edge of the hook, basically known as the bear's cage. The wind is really starting to lift some debris in front of us along with this spray. So we're just trying to punch out ahead of it. We didn't want to get caught back in the hail. And also the Chaser Convergence traffic that was back on 54. Very, very dangerous situation, as we've seen before. All the traffic, and then the storm overruns you, and your bad things can happen, let's just say. So we're continuing now east on 19, coming up to Saddle Mountain, and we're going to try to jog to the north and east again and get back out ahead of it, and starting to see a little bit of breakout.
Mark, tell us where you are in relation to the mesocyclone. Let's go back over to Max 1. So this is Mark Dillard's live stream here. So the tornado warning now has been extended over into Caddo County. This will continue. This trend here is likely going to continue. So from Caddo County, we're going to go into Grady County. From Grady County, we're going to go into McLean and Cleveland counties. So this is going to basically follow that straight east-northeastward line. Second supercell just to the south of it with 80-mile-per-hour confirmed winds there. But this is right now the big dangerous storm of the day. Just one really big one out here causing a lot of problems with these ongoing tornado warnings. Damian Lotus joins us live. Damian?
Yeah, Mike, this has been one of the most impressive thunderstorms and tornadoes we've seen pretty much this entire year. And this is what we've been tracking pretty much all day. This is what we've been talking about pretty much all week. And yes, this storm is still tracking primarily just to the east, about 30 to 40 miles an hour. Normally when these storms form, once they start to get that tornado to anchor, they start to take more of an easterly track, and that's primarily what we're seeing right there. So just made its way through Roosevelt, but pretty much if you are in Carnegie, Anadarko, even if you're as far east as Amber through Chickasha here along Highway 44, still going to be taking your tornado precautions because we will be seeing dangerous conditions here coming up. So this is a radar look at the storm. If we can take Corey Inman's stream, we can show you a look at it here coming up. So Corey, you're on this right now. Tell us where you are and what you got for us.
Yeah, Damien, I'm at Apache as Dillard said, the chaser convergence back there is insane. So we're trying to stay out ahead of it here so that we don't get cut off. We're going to hang out here in Apache for a little bit, and then we'll be able to get north up towards the Anadarko area as the thing tracks to the northeast across there. But you can see back on the lower left-hand part of the shot, that's where the lowering is at that Dillard was showing you just a few minutes ago. We're just a little bit further east and trying to stay out in front of it. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Corey. One thing I do want to point out on his stream is that it looks good right now. You can definitely see the storm, but this time of year, sunrise is a lot sooner, or sunset is a lot sooner than what it is in May. So we only got about an hour left of daylight, and that's whenever these storms can really become dangerous, is once the sun sets. So that's what we're going to be looking out for. So let's go back to radar, show you the presentation here for us. So very dangerous storm continuing here for parts of western into central Oklahoma. Taking a closer look here at this one, this is what we've been tracking here for these past couple of hours, is that this is going to be the primary storm we're looking at. So I'm going to slow this down on here for you for the radar presentation. You can just see this hook right here as it continues to make its way off to the east. It is just spinning, and the orientation that we have, the ingredients that we have that is producing this tornado, they're not going away anytime soon. We have a very strong area of low pressure tracking its way across southwestern Oklahoma. We have a very strong cold front pushing its way through northern Oklahoma. You folks in northern and northwestern Oklahoma definitely know what I'm talking about. We're starting to see temperatures starting to feel like October, right? Even though we have this severe thunderstorm and these tornadoes going on here across parts of the state. So this is the presentation for velocity. This is normally what we look for to be able to find and locate tornadoes. So green is coming towards the radar, red is going away. So normally what you want to see to find a tornado is whenever you start to see the reds and greens, what we call tight and bright. Whenever you start to see this couplet right here, whenever you start to see those colors running together very tightly, like what we're seeing right here, that's what you want to see. And you also want to see what we call bright, which is the hotter the color, the hotter the colors, the stronger the winds are going to be. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So this is why we've been calling this such a dangerous storm, because all the ingredients in there, we've had our storm trackers out, Mark Dillard, Corey Inman. So this has been a confirmed tornado here across parts of central and western Oklahoma. And this has been a very dangerous storm. Here's the hail sizes on it. So Mark, if we have you, give us the latest update on what you're seeing. So we got the spray going on here for your shot. So yeah, what do you got?
Yes, Damien, we're just north of Saddle Mountain here. Just made a turn on Highway 19. Heading east, and you can see what we've been dealing with down here. Just an immense amount of spray, which is often referred to as a ground hurricane situation. After tracking hurricanes in such high precipitation storms, this is the effect that you have. It's just a blowing spray. So the circulation is going to be off basically right back behind us and maybe to our south and west. Not too far. We're trying to fight it off here and stay out ahead of it. But it's these storms are moving very, very rapidly, 40 miles an hour off to the north and east. So as we try to make our way down these roads around the mountains, also dealing with some chaser convergence, pretty tough day. So earlier, about 10 or 15 minutes ago, when we were at Cooperton, just south, that's when the tornado really got its act together. I had a satellite area of rotation and lifting dust that immediately filled in and became a satellite tornado, and that was off to the north of the main circulation area. I oftentimes refer to this as the carousel effect. You'll have all around the parent circulation center, you'll have these eddies or small tornadoes that drop down, and satellite tornadoes, and they'll dance around. It becomes a carousel effect, and that's basically what we had going on as it rapidly filled in with rain. It became a blinding rain, and you just could not see it, and we had to get out of it and get north. Just dodged the large hail.
Yeah, Mark was talking.
Got some debris in the road, so we're going to have to slow it down just a notch. We've got trees here, and so we're going to be watching out for this. We may have some trees coming down right now. Hopefully we can get out ahead of this just a notch. But the wind's going to be ripping through here about 65, 70 miles an hour east.
And that's been one of the most dangerous parts of this storm is, as I was talking about earlier, sun is getting ready to set, so the visibility is going down because of the darkness. It's also going down because look at all this spray that Mark's been dealing with. So this is why this storm has been very dangerous here across parts of Oklahoma. So let's go and switch back over to radar to give you the latest look on that. So not only are we dealing with the tornado and the winds and the rain, but also dealing with the large hail that Mark was talking about before he got cut off. The only problem with this part of the state is that the cell phone coverage down here isn't the best, so that's why they've been cutting in and out. But earlier, yeah, we had up to baseball plus size hail just to the northeast there of Roosevelt. As it continues to track its way up towards Anadarko and parts of Caddo County, yeah, definitely going to see baseball size hail. So Mike, in addition to the tornado threat, as this storm continues to make its way up towards the Oklahoma City metro, it's going to hold together very well. So even though the tornado threat might come down some, we're still going to be seeing that possibility of baseball size hail for the Oklahoma City metro.
And nighttime tornadoes are certainly something you do not want for sure. Sun goes down in 40 minutes from right now, so there's a little more daylight here left, but sunset at 7 o'clock tonight. So a tornado watch until 10 p.m. tonight. North central, central, south central, and southwestern Oklahoma. Tornado watch until 10 p.m. tonight. So the main action here in terms of life-threatening weather is with this large supercell now coming into Caddo County. It'll basically travel in a straight line. So Chickasha, heads up for you, no doubt about it. Traveling directly toward Chickasha, toward Verdon, Chickasha, Anadarko, Apache, Boone, and then from there, we're talking about Highway 9, Tabler, Middleburg, Blanchard, Norman, Slaughterville, Noble, and Purcell. The storm to the south of it is currently getting a little outflow, which is keeping it from forming a closed hook, which is good. This one is no doubt the storm of the day. Hail size oscillating between 2.25 and 3 inches in diameter. Damaging straight line winds of 80 miles per hour plus. There is a tornado warning in effect right now. So Apache, safe place. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado winds. Boone, safe place. And then Anadarko may have some very large hail. And then from there up toward Verdon, and it is heading directly for Verdon and Chickasha. There are your hail sizes right now, running 2 1/4 in diameter. Well established, very strong, very deep mesocyclone and hook right there to the west of Apache and Verdon. Let's go to Corey Inman. Here's our time of arrival for you. Verdon, Chickasha there at 7:17 right now. Corey Inman's here live. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, we're here in Apache, looking back to the west. The area of rotation continues just to the north of the highway. Should track just to the north of Apache. Should cross the highway between Apache and Anadarko. So we're here at Apache, gonna wait on it to get to us, and then continue to track it east, try to stay out ahead of all these chasers and everything. If Dillard and Emily can hear me as they come to the east, west of Apache, the road is one way with a traffic light. So you guys make sure you give yourself plenty of time. But storm continues just to the west of Apache. Mike, back to you.
So what you need to know here is that you need to go ahead and go to that safe spot on Max 1 here. So indications of a pretty large multi-vortex tornado. A cyclic supercell, the hook is staying open, so it's staying intense. The inflow's keeping the mesocyclone very intense. So tornadoes at any time, visibility is very low. Clouds are right down on the deck, and you simply have trouble even seeing it coming. Your first indication is just a wall of inflow dust with it. So this is coming right out of Kiowa County through Caddo County, and then red line center line for Chickasha, and then red line center line for Norman down to Purcell. Norman down to Purcell. The North Metro looks to be, at this juncture anyway, more of a hail threat. As long as nothing forms out in this area here, the North Metro, just a hail and wind threat. But this is definitely a serious situation here in Caddo County, tracking for Verdon and Chickasha. Let's go over to Mark Dillard now live. Mark? So let's go back to Corey Inman. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, let me get the camera turned here for you. We're just outside of Apache, looking back to the west. I can tell you the inflow winds blowing into this storm are out of the southeast at about 35 to 40 miles an hour, so it's got plenty of fuel pulling the moisture directly into the area of rotation, which is just to the west, maybe just a little bit north of due west of Apache. Continues to track off to the east northeast, Mike.
Are here. So tornado warning now has been extended for Caddo County. Let's go back over to Max 1. So notice the hook. When I say the hook is open, I'm talking about the inflow there, that wedge of no precipitation there, opening the hook echo and the tornado vortex signature, meaning that it is a balanced supercell, so likely producing additional tornadic activity ahead of the supercell. After dark, the surface winds will increase, which will likely increase the probability of additional tornadic activity after dark. So it'll be dark by the time it makes it to the Purcell-Norman area, right around the 7:30 to 8 o'clock time frame for Norman and Purcell. Here's the velocity here. You see a lot of really hot colors here. So just to the west of Apache and just to the southwest of Anadarko. Emily Sutton is in Anadarko, just south of there right now, looking at it live. Emily?
Yes, Mike, we are staring at where the tornado would be, and I will say within the past 10 minutes or so, immense amount of lightning picking up. This is, we're located in the path of where some very large hail will be heading. So anyone in the area of Anadarko, prepare for some up to 3-inch hail. I mean, some large hail. Yeah, lightning's pretty wild, and like you all have been saying, it's very challenging to see this. Obviously, sun goes down at 7, nighttime tornadoes you never want to mess with. So we're going to be tracking this east as it heads towards Chickasha, likely still tornadic at that point, and then as it heads into the south metro, we're going to be watching this very closely. You can see all the lightning, Mike.
That's Emily Sutton there, south side of Anadarko, looking back to the southwest. Let's go back over to Max 1. We'll check back with Emily here momentarily. The center of circulation now is located to the northwest of Apache and basically due southwest of Anadarko. So Anadarko, Verdon, Chickasha. The storm's moving quickly, over 40 miles per hour, so it comes up on you very fast. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado-strength winds. Avoid windows. Lowest level, if you can, storm cellar or basement is best. But don't take this storm lightly. It is a monster supercell down here in southwest Oklahoma, very large, and there's a big footprint of large hail with it, between 2.5 and 3 inches in diameter. So up into the Anadarko area, very dangerous situation for you. Here's Oklahoma County right here. These are producing small hailstones, but no organized rotation here. We've got trackers up here in Canadian and Kingfisher County and points north from there. But so far, these are non-tornadic, and they're basically just lightning, heavy rain, and small to small medium size hail producers. Here's Oklahoma City. Here is the village Nichols Hills, War Acres and Bethany, Yukon, El Reno here. The storm's now from Calumet northward to Kingfisher and Okarche. So there's the view of the metro again, showing these are non-severe but intensifying lightning rates, and hail sizes are getting larger as well. You can see the supercell down here in southwest Oklahoma, very large, very significant, and yes, very dangerous. Don't take it lightly. We head towards sunset here coming up in 30 minutes as it moves from Chickasha through the Norman Purcell area. The south metro definitely heads up. Mark Diller joins us live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. I've got some sheet metal and some pole damage here, and maybe some chasers that were hit. This was basically about a half a mile from our location here as we were coming down Highway 19, crossing over here. And I believe the poles, yeah, the wires are down here along, this is going to be 58 right here. Just near Saddle Mountain at the curve, so we're going to have to back up and get around these down lines. But literally, just to our south in this spray is where this damage occurred. We got some sheet metal damage.
Mike, we have satellite tornado,
and we've got. We've got a lot of damage down here as far as like ancillary sheet metal and some implements and that kind of thing, and some wires down across the road. So I'm going to have to back out of here and head back to the north. Mike, back to you.
Okay, let's go to Emily Sutton here live, looking southwest from the south side of Anadarko. Go, Emily.
Yeah, Mike, we're in Anadarko. If you're watching our stream, we just saw a little satellite tornado. In fact, there's still evidence of it. If you're looking on the left side of our screen, you can see the little bit of debris picking up on the ground, and look up, and there's a tiny little funnel. So I believe this is a satellite tornado of the main tornado that's obscured by all of the clouds and rain that's wrapped around. Can you see what I'm talking about?
Yes, we can see exactly what you see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's starting to dissipate now because it's on the outer edge, but you can see all of the dust blowing out, and occasionally we'll see these little isolated tornadoes forming on the outer edge of the main circulation. But we are looking directly to the southwest from Anadarko, and we've been waiting here for a long time. Now we're finally able to see this from a somewhat safe distance and wider view of the storm. Yeah, you can see it is now kind of roped out, but we still have a lot of dust on the back edge of this storm, but we did have a brief satellite tornado on the outer edge of it. Mike?
Right here. Let's go over to Max 2. So let's go to Max 2. Here is the satellite tornado that Emily's talking about. See the red and the green right there coming together? It's out way ahead of the main tornado, way ahead. So Emily is down here on the south side of Anadarko looking southwest, not very far away. There's the satellite tornado on the inflow to the main mesocyclone. So that's so dynamic. There's so much going on. You see those type effects on these big days that produce big, long-track tornadoes. So there's a lot of dynamics going on down here. That's why you want to be away from windows. Storm cellar or basement is best. Smallest room, you know, mobile homes are not safe. Clearly, you can see the satellite tornado. Let's go back over to Emily Sutton here looking at it.
Yeah, Mike, it looks like it's dissipated, but like you were saying, very dynamic situation, and that's what is so dangerous for a lot of the storm chasers that are out, because it's difficult to see the main area of circulation. We've had a challenge with that since this became tornado warned, and, you know, we have Mark Dillard, our top chasers, out there tracking it, and it's wrapped around by the rain and the clouds. You're missing out on it, but we did catch about just 5 minutes ago on the outer edge of it, that satellite tornado. I've been watching it. We haven't seen it since. We're just starting to get some rain coming in here to Anadarko, and I think they're about to get waltzed with some big hail. So we're going to continue tracking this supercell east as it is eventually heading towards Chickasha and then towards the South Metro. But like you've been saying all along, you know, a lot of people think, oh, when the sun goes down, the energy goes out. This is by different dynamic forcing, and it's not going to stop. So it looks like that structure we had earlier is no longer there. We can see all of the high winds blowing out of the storm, and you can see a very clear shelf cloud. And then I believe the wall cloud is behind that, the wraparound. We're unable to see where the main circulation is. It's covered in rain.
Okay, so we'll certainly want to be looking for any potential power flashes back in here. Large mesocyclone here, very large, and the center of that mesocyclone is back here in the haze, and she had this satellite tornado feeding in on the leading edge of the mesocyclone, feeding in, looking southwest from the south side of Anadarko. So a lot of dynamics here, but you're looking at the main mesocyclone here. Very strong inflow here, running 35, 40, and 45 miles per hour, and a satellite tornado spun up on that inflow feeding into the main mesocyclone. You saw that there live. That's Emily and Kevin Josephy, her photojournalist, looking southwest from Anadarko right here. So very dynamic, big, massive storm down here. Let's go back over to radar, show you where this is located. So here's the overall big view. So a heavy storm up here by Ponca City has some hail with it. So you folks in the Ponca City area, lightning, thunder, and some hail. Tornado watch here in green. Here's the main upper level disturbance coming out, which will keep things going during the overnight hours. And notice the storms are also developing all the way down by Wichita Falls, with a hook forming down by Wichita Falls. That's a heads up for you folks in Ardmore, and also Comanche and Duncan. All right, Ardmore, Comanche, Duncan, Ardmore, Davis, Turner Falls area, Carter and Murray counties down through Jefferson and Stevens and southern Cotton County. So a hook forming down there just to the southwest and west of Wichita Falls, Texas right now. So here's Corey Inman. He can see the inflow. Look at the inflow. Look at that feeder cloud going into it. Very large mesocyclone. Tornado warning continues heading up to Anadarko, south of Anadarko, and Verdon and Chickasha. Corey.
Yeah, Mike, we're on the Highway 8 here, south of Anadarko, headed north. That feeder cloud that you're talking about is directly over our head, feeding back into that area of rotation and the area where Emily had the tornado just a few minutes ago. We're going to be in and out of trees here as we come up south of Anadarko, so our view is going to be kind of obstructed here a little bit, but that area continues just to our northwest. The winds out ahead of this storm are out to the southeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour, so it's got a lot of fuel as it continues to track to the northeast, Mike.
So, Corey, you're located exactly where right now?
I am about 10 miles south of Anadarko on Highway 8.
10 miles south of Anadarko on Highway 8 is where Corey is located right now. Let's go back over to radar. So, again, we're just going to highlight here for you Verdon, Chickasha. Verdon, Chickasha. The storms turned a tad more to the north just in the past 10 minutes, a tad more to the north. So Verdon, Chickasha, Pocasset, Amber, the Chickasha Airport, Middleburg, Tabler, Blanchard, over toward Newcastle, potentially more Norman. That's where it's traveling. Mason Dunn is now looking at that storm live. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, we're just sitting on a tall hill. You can kind of see in my shot, you can see to the right of the shot there. So we're sitting up here, got a couple of highway patrols with me. This is the tallest hill just south of Verdon, so we got a great view of it. We're just waiting for it to come to us. So whenever it gets here, we're going to pick it up and follow it into the metro, so we'll keep you forewarned, Mike.
Mason, thank you very much. Let's go back to Corey Inman's stream right here. This is Corey Inman, and back over to radar here on Max 1. So they're approaching the metro here pretty quickly now. So tornado warning continues for Caddo County. So Anadarko, tornado safe spot. It is heading directly for you. Anadarko, so the mesocyclone, the middle of it there, directly for Anadarko right now, east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. You're under a tornado warning. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado-strength winds. Stay away from windows. Storm cellar or basement at your location or very close by is your best bet with this. I wouldn't take it lightly. It's a very powerful mesocyclone, very strong, very large mesocyclone with intermittent tornadic activity, and the visibility is basically down to zero. There's a lot of blowing dust going into it on the inflow side, so as it comes on in, it will be a pretty rowdy situation here as it comes on in. So you want to be in your safe spot well before the tornado approaches your area. Hail size running about tennis ball size. Also an area of tennis ball size hail northwest of Medicine Park. And there's an area of circulation starting to form just north of Medicine Park. That storm is severe there. The one tornado warning there just to the southwest of Anadarko. For you folks down in Jefferson and Stevens County, heads up because we have a supercell down here to the west of Wichita Falls. It's severe right now, not a tornado warning, but a heads up for you for Jefferson County, Stevens County, and then from there into Carter County and Murray County. So heads up for you. This is going to be a situation with tornadoes becoming likely as well, especially Comanche, Waurika, over toward Healton and Anadarko and up toward the Murray County area, Davis Sulphur area. Here's your timeline on the circulation here. So you're talking about Anadarko, and then from there, Alec, Tuttle, could go as far north as Mustang, probably not quite that far north, but especially more down to Norman. That's the red line, center line. Norman appears to be red line, center line right now. So there's your time of arrival as it moves to the east, northeast at around 40 miles per hour. Let's go back over to our team of trackers here. Check back with Mark Dillard here live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Just catching a little hail. I've had to go into the core a little further than I wanted due to the fact of that power line situation down there at the intersection of 19 and 58. Just north of the mountains down there.
Let's go over to Corey Inman now live. Corey?
And then on the side of the road, and the traffic was backed up due to the power lines across the road. So we are having to double back actually into the core now of the storm. Quite a tremendous amount of rain coming down, Mike. Bar ditches are filling up pretty quick. A little bit of hail mixed in. I think I've seen as large as golf ball. And, George Weaver, Chase partner today, we were just talking about it. We were heading east on Highway 19, coming up to 58, and literally had no clue other than off of radar that the center of circulation was just to our south. And was causing damage because you just simply can't see it. It's so wrapped up in rain. So very dangerous situation as it starts to get dark. If this thing holds together, coming up toward the metro area and toward Anadarko, Chickasha, and the South Metro. Folks are really going to need to start paying attention and get their precautions ready. Mike, back to you.
Okay, Mark, we do appreciate that. Let's go back over to Corey Inman and get an update with him. Tornado warning continues for Anadarko. Corey.
Yeah, Mike, we're just to the southeast of Anadarko, headed east, and the area of rotation, you can see it back there. Well, we're going to come around the curve here, but it's just off to our northwest. Continues to track off to the east-northeast pretty rapidly. Should go directly on the south end of Anadarko over towards the Burton area. We're trying to navigate to the east here and get around the curve and try to come up on the south side of Burton here, Mike.
Okay, let's go back over to Emily Sutton. She had a great view just a short while ago. She's just south of Anadarko, looking to the southwest, right at that mesocyclone. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we're repositioning right now. We're actually heading east, and we're moving out of Anadarko, and we're lining up to eventually head into Chickasha and follow this in the metro. But I keep looking over my shoulder, and if we find the right time, we can turn around and get you a view. But I'm seeing the little funnels on the outer edge. We were talking about the satellite tornadoes. I've seen one or two occasional funnels on the outer edge of it, and a very messy scud cloud, and then behind that is the main circulation.
Okay, that is, I'll tell you what, the cell coverage is just not very good. There's a lot of folks on cell phones, a lot of bandwidth being used. Let's go back over to Max 1, and let's show you, for you folks in Ponca City, I want to update you, you have some hail. This storm could easily be severe here. Just now coming into Ponca City, so it's going to be looking at about dime to nickel size hail. Could be a little bigger than that. That's a pretty intense storm right over Ponca City, heading on up through Call Lake for you folks in northern Oklahoma. That storm there. But the main storm by far is the one now coming directly into Anadarko. Tornado warning continues. Tornado warning now all the way to Verdon, just to the west of Chickasha. The cold front has come in behind this line. So if you're behind that line, the severe weather threat in terms of tornadic activity is basically over. But the hook's very large, still open with this, and still looking at 2.5 to 3 inch diameter hail. Right now, the circulation just to the southwest of Anadarko. You folks in Anadarko should be in your safe spot now. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado winds. Interior closet or bathroom, if you can, storm cellar or basement. The center of that circulation is going to come right across Anadarko, Indian City, down Highway 8, and the hail size is running about 2.5 inches in diameter. Let's go to Corey Inman, looking at this right now. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, let me pan the camera here for you. We're southeast of Anadarko, looking back to the northwest at the area of circulation. You can see the southern end of the storm is almost started to get a shelf cloud feature there. The lowering that Emily had is back just to the northwest of that. The feeder cloud that we were talking about earlier is just to the north of that cell tower that you see there in the shot. So we're going to go north here and come in on the south side of Burton. It should be there right as it gets into Burton, Mike.
Okay, that's Corey Inman. Back over to Max 1. I tell you what, there is some good things going on here in terms of our weather, which this is nice. The cold front is coming in very fast here behind this line of storms. The wind at Fort Cobb is gusting from the north up at about 50 miles per hour, and it's cooling off a lot. So if you can pull colder air into that mesocyclone, there's a better chance that it won't produce the really big tornadoes. That's one bonus you have for the month of October. So let's hope that trend continues. It's also going to help keep the storms pushing them. It's going to push them along. So also heads up here for the Burt Burnett area and Wichita Falls. So you folks in the Walters area, over toward Comanche, over toward Waurika, and then from there over into Carter and Murray counties, Hilton, Ringling, over toward Ardmore and up toward Davis, Sulphur, and the Arbuckles. Heads up for you. That is a supercell there. It's severe. Currently, no tornado warning on it. But this storm here, there's your time of arrival. We're talking about Newcastle, Goolsby, Norman as we head toward the 7:50 and 8 o'clock hour. All right, that's your time of arrival ahead of that one big supercell there. Mason Dunn joins us live looking at it from near Verdon.
Yeah, Mike, we're here in the Interceptor today, and we're on a tall hill just on the south side of Verdon. Looking off to the southwest, you can see in the shot There's a large storm coming, as everybody knows. But it looks like the storm to the north of there's a clear slot in between the two storms, and we're looking at the further south storm. We're probably 20 miles from it, Mike, and I can see some major inflow from north to south into that. I don't know if that's the cold front pushing, or if I don't know if that's the storm sucking those clouds in. But like I said, we're on a tall hill. I kind of see a little wall cloud forming just this side of that storm too. So we'll keep an eye on it, Mike. We'll keep you forewarned. Back to you.
Okay, that is Mason Dunn there reporting live from near Verdon, Oklahoma. Back over to the big view here. If you're just now joining us, you can tell the storms are now about to move into the I-35 corridor. There's one tornadic supercell and then another supercell which could produce tornadic activity down by Wichita Falls. There's also a severe storm just to the south of the tornadic supercell in northern Comanche County. That hottest activity there is heading into Moore and Norman via Anadarko and the Chickasha area. So you're talking about damaging hail, damaging winds. There is an active tornado warning right now with one storm, and then we have one pretty hefty storm up here which likely has hail at least nickel size. It has some rotation with it as well. It is developing a hook. It's just literally on the southeast side of Ponca City. So you folks in Kay County over toward Scheidler and Granola up here in northwestern Osage County, you all stay alert here because that is developing a hook rather quickly. I would say that storm definitely is severe right now. You can see the hook there forming pretty quickly. Mason Dunn joins us now back down to the south side of Verdon looking southwest. Mason?
Yeah, Mike, you can see in my shot those clouds I was talking about. Just ahead of that storm is almost to us, and we're just south of Verdon. As you can see right there, I kind of panned out a little bit. You can see some lightning. So the wind, I tell you, Mike, the wind is still about 30 miles an hour out of the southeast right now, heading into the storms. So we got a pretty good wall cloud. I'm going to move this camera just a little bit to the left here, and we're going to watch this area right here as it is approaching Verdon right now. Looks pretty impressive on the radar, but you can see our shot, Mike. We'll keep you forewarned. Back to you.
Now are going off in Verdon, Oklahoma there, just to the west of Chickasha. I do want to go back to, for a moment, the Ponca City storm. So let's go back over to one here. So the hook continues to form quickly here. This is a supercell. You see the hook there forming quickly. It's going to go travel. It's going to travel southeast of Ponca City by quite a few miles. But over here in Osage County, up toward Washunga Bay and Call Lake, tornadoes are possible here. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning, but it's a hook. You see the hook forming, supercell there clearly, and tornado warning, I would say likely at any time for northwestern Osage County. So Scheidler on down to near and north of Fairfax, and then from there near and north of Pawhuska. Stay alert here. Osage County, that is a developing hook with developing deep circulation in a supercell. The supercell rotation will pass by to the east and southeast of Ponca City. Pretty good size hail, though, on the southeast side of Ponca City. Could be up to the golf ball size now. It's going up quite a bit. So in the meantime, we have sirens going off in Anadarko, pretty much right over Anadarko right now. Sirens going off in Verdon. You see the hook there, still an open hook, still balanced, still easily could produce additional tornadic activity. So from there over toward Chickasha, and then from there, Blanchard, Dibble, Kreiner, Cole, Washington, Norman, Noble is where that is tracking, and even on down, perhaps down toward Purcell. But you see the hook there with the center of circulation there, just literally on the southwest side of Anadarko, Indian City, Highway 8, and then Verdon sirens are going off. You folks in Chickasha, up toward the Chickasha Airport, circulation heading red line, center line your way. Hail size running between 2.5 and 2 3/4 in diameter, just right at baseball size. So a very large supercell there. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard. Has some flooding on the backside of that storm near Carnegie. Mark?
Yes, Mike. I think you need to go to Corey right now. I believe you said he had a tornado.
Let's go to Corey Inman. Go, Corey.
Mike, 3 miles northwest of Surreal, tornado on the ground, cement. 3 miles northwest of cement, tornado on the ground, had power flashes about a quarter of a mile in front of us. We have debris, leaf debris and stuff in the air. Winds are out of the southeast blowing into this thing at about 60 miles an hour, Mike. It's obscured by rain. We have the power flashes there directly in front of us. It's tracking off towards Verdon, so anybody in Verdon needs to take their tornado precautions right now. It is on the ground, Mike, 3 miles northwest of Cement.
Okay, 3 miles northwest of Cement right now, north of Cyril is where that is located. And let's go back over to Max 1. So, again, need to just emphasize to you, dangerous situation here. Look at the spin here on the south side of Anadarko, pretty much right over Indian City. So just northwest of Cement and north of Cyril. Verdon, Chickasha Airport. That is a tornado on the ground right now. Tornado warning continues. So Highway 9 here, Verdon over through Chickasha Airport, even on down toward the north side of Ninnekah, damaging winds there. So Chickasha, it's time to go to your tornado safe spot away from windows. Interior closet or bathroom, if you can, storm cellar or basement is the best choice. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado strength winds, and this has a lot of high velocity wind with it. Tornado on the ground now, northwest and north of Cement and Cyril right now. Let's go back over to Emily Sutton looking at it live. Emily?
Yes, Mike, we are located just east of Verdon, looking southwest. So exactly what Corey was talking about. We're looking at the tornadic storm at this time. I have not been able to spot the actual tornado, but we're limited with daylight now. The sun's getting ready to go down, only about 8 more minutes till sunset, but we are looking at exactly where the circulation would be located. So people in the town of Verdon, I saw some people standing outside looking at the sky. The sirens are going in the town of Verdon, and then this is going to be tracking east towards Chickasha. It does look like the biggest tail is now passing north of Anadarko and will be passing north of Verdon. So you're looking right at it, Mike. And so it's not going to be easy to see. Obviously, too, with the sun setting, we're entering nighttime tornadoes, which is always very dangerous. So people in the track of this storm, South Metro, we're giving you plenty of advanced warning. Clear out your storm shelter. Make sure you're ready to take action. Mike, we're going to hang with this for a little bit longer, but these things are blazing. These storms are moving at 40 to 45 miles per hour. So we're probably going to head to Chickasha and track it into the South Metro before it overtakes us.
Okay, that is Emily Sutton there from very close to Anadarko. Last confirmed report north of Cement, tornado on the ground from Corey Inman. Let's go back over to radar, and I'll show you where this is headed. This is the same storm here, so looking at Max 1. So the tornado warning here for Chickasha. Tornado warning for Chickasha, very dangerous situation here. Sun going down in 6 minutes. Tornado confirmed north of Cement and Cyril. Large hook, a lot of high velocities in it. Big supercell tracking. You see the track here. Chickasha, Highway 9, Tabler, Middleburg, Blanchard, over to Norman and the Riverwind Casino area. Newcastle and South Newcastle as well. Blanchard, Dibble, Kreiner, Cole, Washington, Noble. Dangerous situation here. So you want to be in your tornado safe spot, away from windows. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado strength winds. This is quite dangerous, could be a large tornado. The circulation's very large and very, very intense. Hail size there running right at baseball size. So a lot of damaging hail with it as well. But it is heading basically directly into Chickasha. Right now, Mason Dunn joins us from Verdon.
Yeah, Mike, we're still sitting on this hill just south of Verdon as this storm is approaching. We can see the low area that Emily was talking about. It's coming right for us, and the winds have really picked up here. Probably, out of the southeast into this storm. So, as I was saying earlier, the winds are still from the southeast into the storm. We're just sitting here waiting. We're going to follow it into the metro. We'll keep you forewarned. Back to you, Mike.
Mason Dunn there from Verdon. Sirens going off right now. So it's just at dusk right now. Sun going down in 5 minutes. Very large storm. Let's go to Corey Inman looking at it. So very serious situation here for Chickasha, no doubt about it. Sirens going off in Verdon, Chickasha, tornado warning, very dangerous. Stay away from windows. Storm cellar or basement is best. Mobile homes are not safe. Go to that safe place that's nearby where you are. And do that now in the Chickasha area. Storms are moving at 40, 42 miles an hour. That lessens your lead time here for warning. So Chickasha, very important. You're under a tornado warning. Take those precautions right now. Corey Inman here live. Corey?
Yeah, Mike. I'm between Verdon and Chickasha. I haven't seen any power flashes since I spoke to you the last time, Mike, but this thing is still on the ground. It's going to be directly behind me. As Mason was saying, the winds are still out of the southeast. Down here, they're gusting about 30, 35 right now. So,
that's Corey Inman there.
The Chickasha.
So, Corey, tell us again about that tornado north of Cement. It was on the ground. What did it do when you lost sight of it?
Mike, it was on the ground directly.
Folks, we apologize for the cell coverage. There's just a lot of bandwidth being used out there, and this happens more and more these days, but that's why the phones are breaking up, because of the bandwidth problem. So many folks are on the cell phones. So let's go back over to 1. So this is a live view with Corey Inman. You can clearly see the hook there. Damien, let's go ahead and look at velocities here on Max 2. And let's look at the actual velocities here. Let's zoom on into the Anadarko area. There's Verdon. So another possible, very strong inflow here. This is all very, very strong inflow between Verdon and Chickasha. And the middle of the tornado circulation is right there on 9, halfway between Anadarko and Verdon. So everybody in Verdon should already be in your safe spot. Just turn the volume up on your radio or your stream or your phone or the television set. You should be in your safe spot right now. Last report was from Corey was a tornado north of Cement and Surreal up in here, lifting up into that mesocyclone. That was only about 5 minutes ago, and that was literally on the southeastern side of Anadarko. There appear to be 2 areas of circulation here, one just to the west of Verdon and another one to the southeast of Anadarko. So it's a very, very large mesocyclone that runs about 5 to 7 miles across. It's a big mesocyclone, so a lot of damaging winds inside that mesocyclone. So Verdon, Chickasha, you folks in Chickasha have got to go to your safe spot right now. Let's go back over to Emily Sutton here with a live update. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we are driving through the town of Chickasha right now, and the sirens are blaring loud and clear. So, folks, yeah, ooh, you can hear them. They're blaring loud and clear, and like you said, this is a giant mesocyclone. It's obviously challenging to see now that the sun's going down. We are blasting east. That's what's so key with this storm. And Mark Dillard's been saying it from the beginning. Same with Corey Inman. These storms are flying at about 45 miles per hour. So just keep that in mind. Keep watching us. We'll keep you forewarned, staying ahead of the storms as these blasts through Chickasha, still a tornadic storm with very large hail and damaging winds, and then it's going to move into the South Metro. So we've been keeping an eye on it, but it's hard to see now as it becomes a nighttime tornado. We're going to be looking for power flashes. Mike?
Okay, Emily Sutton there from Chickasha. You heard the sirens going off. Here's the broad view. And the broad view is that if you live right here up and down I-35, from Guthrie down through Edmond, down through Oklahoma City, Midwest City, Moore, Norman, Bethany, War Acres area. Scattered storms will be increasing pretty quickly now. These are going to have hail with them and a lot of lightning and thunder with them and some very gusty winds with them. But there's only one tornadic storm right now, just one. And it's down here heading directly into Chickasha. From there, it heads to Norman, perhaps even down to Purcell. But Chickasha to Norman, Purcell kind of fanning out there, heads up definitely in the South Metro. So here's this supercell just to the southeast of Ponca City. The hook continues to form. Severe thunderstorm warning here, very close to Call Lake Dam. That's heading up towards Scheidler. And then from there north of Pawhuska, Granola, up here in northwestern Osage County. When that approaches you, take your tornado precautions all around Call Lake, especially the south sides of Call Lake, up towards Scheidler and Granola and north through west of Pawhuska. That is a supercell there with a hook. It will miss Ponca City on the east and southeast sides. But look at the size of this supercell down here to the west of Chickasha, moving east-northeast. Indications perhaps of multiple tornadoes on the ground looking at velocity. So very dangerous. Mesocyclones 5 to 7 miles across. Embedded in that are areas of localized tornado vortex signatures. You see that with these big supercells on these high-end kind of days. So we want to make sure that you're not in that mobile home. If you have a storm cell or a basement, you need to go there. Chickasha, Verdon right now. And then from there, down Highway 9, Tabler, Middleburg, Blanchard over to South Newcastle, over there, Dibble, Kreiner, Cole, Washington, Goldsby, Norman, the Riverwind Casino area. That's where it's tracking right now. Hail size running about baseball size, and straight line of winds could be 80 to 90 miles per hour. So there's a lot of damage potential with this supercell now coming out of Caddo County and coming into Grady County. Red line, center line for Chickasha. Strong indications there of multiple areas of spin inside of that. Also, rotation is picking up here to the south of Walters, far southern Cotton County. So heads up for Eureka, Comanche. From there, over toward Velma, Alma, and Wilson and Healton, and then over toward the Murray County area, Davis Sulphur area. So here's the South Metro, Norman right here, Purcell right here, and a lot of hail in this part of the line here. Some of this is damaging hail, and the line is filling in down by Lawton, producing more hail and damaging winds for Marlow, Duncan, Stevens County, Rush Springs. But just that one tornado warning right now, very close to Verdon, and there's your time of arrival with that. So we're looking at Chickasha, Amber, Blanchard, Newcastle, Norman, Slaughterville, the Norman area at 8 o'clock. It's 7:02 right now, so an hour away. And again, there's your time of arrival eastbound from the Norman area over toward Lake Thunderbird and Twin Lakes. Twin Lakes over toward Tecumseh is where it's heading, Pottawatomie County, Maud, St. Louis, up towards Shawnee. That's where that storm is tracking. Big supercell here with very strong indications of continued tornadic activity. There's the velocity still showing two main areas of rotation, one just to the east of Anadarko and the other one very close to Verdon on the inflow of the mesocyclone, traveling right toward and into Chickasha now and the Chickasha airport. Let's go back over to our team of trackers here. Start here with Corey Inman. Emily Sutton joins us live. Emily?
Hey, Mike, we just drove through Chickasha. We are heading east, positioning ahead of it. At this time, you can see the sunset right behind it, and we can still see the leading edge of the storm jutting out, and then the sunset right behind it. Just drove through Chickasha. The sirens were blaring, so hopefully folks in Chickasha are taking shelter. We are going to try and reposition to get another view, but obviously it's getting more challenging now that the sun is setting. But we still have this huge mesocyclone. It's tornadic. It's continuing to race off to the east-northeast. We're turning around right now trying to get you a view of the storm. And it's racing off to the east-northeast, eventually heading into the South Metro. So hopefully if you're watching now, you can let loved ones know, give them plenty of advanced warning. This is a nighttime tornado situation, which we hate to have. But all day long, it's been challenging to even see this tornado when we had daylight. So just take your precautions. Also watch out for the threat of some very large hail. Mike.
That's Emily Sutton there reporting from Chickasha where the sirens are going off. Let's go ahead and check the storm. Let's go to Mark Dillard here live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Just trying to play a little catch-up after being detoured by that storm damage that was down by Saddle Mountain and coming out of Cooperton when this storm actually really got its act together. I also want to remind folks, excuse me, due to the heavy rain that's been coming down, we've got hydroplane conditions. I've seen a couple of cars off the road. We've just had an accident, a hydroplane accident at the Apache Y, just to the east. So just want to make folks aware that it's not just the tornado, which is a concern, but there's an immense amount of heavy rain and some flooding that's been going on just in the storm to the north of the tornadic area. Like in Carnegie, we had street flooding going on. We had the police shutting down a couple of streets due to the heavy flooding that's going on there. In areas that generally flood, that are in the path of this storm, you can expect some flooding. So it's been a tough road to hoe, so to speak, with this one, Mike. We knew it would be a long day, but this storm really has been one for the books with some tornado damage, as I said, down by Saddle Mountain, and then continuing on now as we go into the evening hours and it gets dark. Very dangerous situation. Mike, back to you.
Okay, Mark Dillard, we do appreciate that report for sure. Let's go back over to Max 1 here, and we're going to kind of give you an overview. So if you're just now joining us, the I-35 corridor is where the action is going to be going to next. So we've had a long-lived tornadic supercell now for about an hour and 20 minutes come out of southwestern Oklahoma. There's been confirmed 80-mile-an-hour winds. There have been several tornado sightings, including a satellite tornado so far. Our storm trackers have seen about 4. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference, though, because the cloud deck inside the mesocyclone is so low that the visibility basically is 0 inside the mesocyclone. There's a lot of blowing dust, a lot of inflow going into it, so the visibility conditions are terrible around the mesocyclone. So you want to go ahead and take those tornado precautions, and you will likely not see what comes in over you. And there is an ongoing tornado warning. So just real briefly here around Burbank, just to the east of Ponca City. It is bypassed Ponca City, but a supercell here with larger than golf ball size hail now right over Washunga Bay, Call Lake Dam, heading north of Fairfax, north and west of Pawhuska, and up toward Scheidler for you folks in Osage County. So here's the I-35 corridor, Oklahoma City, Norman down toward Purcell. Big supercell here. The hook is still wide open, a lot of inflow and areas of tornado vortex spin in a mesocyclone that's between 5 and 7 miles across. It's a very large mesocyclone, and all that now is heading right into Chickasha, the Chickasha Airport, Highway 9, back to Verdon. Sirens are all going off in through here. Dangerous situation. Everybody ahead of this in Grady County from Chickasha and Verdon eastbound should be in their tornado safe spot. Mobile homes are not safe in tornado winds. Stay away from windows, interior closet or bathroom, but prefer a storm cellar or basement. The tornado strength could be quite strong with this. Nighttime tornadoes are going to be likely eastbound from here, over through the Blanchard, Norman, Purcell area, and then from there over through St. Louis, Tribby, Shawnee, Tecumseh, Twin Lakes, and Lake Thunderbird. All right, so heads up, Lake Thunderbird area, Highway 9, basically. Hail size running about baseballs with this. So very large supercell, very impressive for October. Looks a lot more like a May type situation here. But this is that purple box there. That is the tornado warning polygon and the center of circulation now, Verdon, Chickasha area. So this storm here is a supercell, Cotton County, south of Walters on the Red River, and more severe storms over and just to the west through north of Wichita Falls, Burnett. That's important for you folks in Cotton County, Stevens County, and Jefferson counties, Waurika, Comanche area, over toward Ringling and Hilton, and Bryan over into Ardmore and Davis Sulphur Arbuckle area later on, all right? Not tornado warnings there, but they are developing supercells with already some rotation. From there, hailers around Elgin, Cement, Surreal, Fort Sill, Lawton, Cache area, hailers there. Hail sizes there running about 1 inch in diameter, so not really big hail, but still potentially some severe hail there. And then severe thunderstorm warnings. Here's your time for arrival. Chickasha coming up right now. Blanchard at 7:43. Newcastle 7:50. Norman at 8 o'clock. It's 7:10 right now, so 50 minutes, 5-0 from right now. Red line, center line for Norman. Red line, center line for Norman, down toward Pink and Slaughterville and Noble. That's your time of arrival. John Slater joins us now in Norman. John?
Hey, Mike. We are in far west Norman, as far as you can take Robinson to the west, right before the river. And we got our live stream up. If you're looking at that shot, it's getting pretty dark right now. We can't see a whole lot, but we're looking off to the west-southwest. That's that potential tornadic supercell towards the Chickasha area. We can kind of see the rain-free base in the horizon, though it's getting darker and darker and harder to see. This storm is very electrical. Lots of lightning strikes just off to our west here, and lots of striations in the mid-levels with this storm as well. So obviously it's a very well-developed storm with a lot of solid rotation with it. Already has produced at least one tornado we know of. So again, we're watching it very closely. It's tracking rapidly east-northeast towards Interstate 35, so at night, always a dangerous situation, and especially when these storms cross major roadways, that's always dangerous at night. So if you know anyone or have any friends and family traveling on I-35, probably south of Norman, it's probably going to end up going south of Norman, right? Purcell area, something like that. So if you know folks traveling that area along I-35 especially, give them a heads up. It's going to be nighttime, and this long track supercell with a history of tornadoes, strong rotation, is going to move right across the interstate. Maybe you've got friends and family or, students coming back from the OU Texas game, coming up I-35 from Texas, coming home to Oklahoma City and are probably unaware of even what's going on. So make sure you contact your loved ones and make sure you know what exactly is going on. That's the latest, Mike. Back to you.
Great advice, John. We do appreciate that from Norman. Notice all the electrical activity here already coming in to the metros. You're probably noticing lightning's increasing outside. We've got trackers fanned out ahead of these storms as they come in to the metro. Damian Lotus joins us live. Damian?
Yeah, Mike, in addition to the tornado threat that we've been tracking here for tonight, we also want to point out, as Mike was saying and as John was saying, these storms are producing a lot of lightning, so we will probably see some power outages here as we head throughout the next couple of hours. In addition to the tornado threat, the hail threat, also going to be seeing blinding rainfall. We've seen that so far here with our trackers, and one of our viewers sent in this video. This is Lamont Bear. He sent this one in just south of Anadarko and just blowing spray. So as these storms start to move in, we will see blinding rainfall, reduced visibility, and as Mark Diller was talking about earlier, on some of the highways, there could be a hydroplaning issue here. So definitely want to make sure that you're staying in as much as you can. So this is some video from earlier from some of our storm trackers. So yeah, heavy rainfall, flooded intersections. So this is what we're seeing. So this is actually a live video right now from Mark Diller. So Mark Diller's coming up. So Mark, I'm looking at your stream. We got Brahms over there on the side. Do you have power where you're looking at right now? Because it doesn't look like you do.
No, Damien, we're in Anadarko, and the power is out. Basically, I'm on the west and southwest side of Anadarko, coming in past the Walmart. You mentioned the Brahms. There's also an immense amount of flood water coming in, just gushing over some of these roads here. A lot of flooding and some ancillary tree damage. And some debris damage, just stuff that was tossed about in the winds in the south side of Anadarko here. So we're on Highway 9 where it makes the jog back to the north. We're coming north now, and a lot of flooding here in areas that, from what I can tell, generally do flood when they get a lot of rain down here. But we've had a ton of rain, that's for sure. Again, we've had several hydroplane accidents that we've seen. One was back at the Apache Y. So you're just going to have to take it easy if you're out and about, especially even after the storm has passed your location. You may encounter some flooding, washed out roads, or a lot of damage. We've seen an immense amount of tree damage across Highway 9 between Fort Cobb and Anadarko. Several times we've had to stop and actually move the limbs off the road that were blocking the road. So just a real beast of a storm this afternoon. And even for October, it's not out of the ordinary that we get these, but it's been quite a while since we've had one. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. So this is what we're going to be tracking here as these storms continue to make their way towards the I-35 corridor. The tornado threat is still there. We've had that confirmed tornado, but as we head throughout the next couple of hours, dangerous conditions with the winds, with the lightning, and with the hail right now. So, Mike, these storms are definitely packing a punch, and they're going to maintain that punch here as they continue to make their way towards the Oklahoma City metro.
That's exactly right, Damian, exactly right. So what we have right now, I'll give you an update here. Really dangerous situation here for Chickasha, up through the Chickasha Airport and Amber. You need to be in your safe spot. We're showing a lot of high velocities inside of this mesocyclone. Here's your time of arrival. Chickasha literally right now, and then Norman by 8 o'clock, and then over toward Pink to the east of Norman by 8:28. So heads up here east of Chickasha, over Chickasha now. As it continues eastbound again, there is your time of arrival. Talking about Highway 9, Tabler, Blanchard, Middleburg area, over toward Norman and Noble, Norman, south side of Norman, Noble area, near and north of Purcell's, where it's going to travel across I-35. Now, I want to point out something to you here. This is the mesocyclone. It's very large. Embedded inside this mesocyclone, which is about 7 miles across, we're seeing indications of multiple tornadoes inside of this circulation. One was very close to Verdon. Something spun up very quickly near Verdon and was spinning to the southeast from the Verdon area just a few short minutes ago. And then the center of the main circulation is on the northern side of Chickasha, near the Chickasha Airport. So there's a strong circulation here, heading up toward Amber, literally right on the northern side of the Chickasha Airport. Amber over toward Blanchard, all right? So we have to express to you that this is dangerous. It's not a little small circulation. It's a very large circulation, And vortices are spinning up inside of this very quickly and then dissipating very quickly. But strong indications here of multiple tornadoes inside the mesocyclone. There's one that spun up there near Verdon, tracks southeastward. And then the second area is just on the north side of the Chickasha Airport right now. So all in this is high velocity damaging winds. And this bright red you see off to the east is strong inflow coming into the mesocyclone. So it's a beast of a mesocyclone. So as it travels eastward, you want to be away from windows. Anywhere along Highway 9, Middleburg, Tabler, Blanchard, over to Norman. Circulation's just to the southwest of Amber now, over to Norman, Noble, and Purcell. Tabler, Middleburg, Washington, Blanchard, Highway 9. Very large mesocyclone, very vigorous mesocyclone. Here you can clearly see the hook, very strong hook there with wraparound, a lot of damaging winds, and we're showing indications of vortices spinning up on the rear flank downdraft, or the RFD, which is this wind swinging around the south side of the mesocyclone, spinning up tornadoes as well on the inflow trying to come in. So there's a lot going on inside of this. You don't want to mess with it for sure. Let's see. Corey Inman, I think, is very close to Chickasha right now. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, I'm on 62 just to the east of Chickasha. The main area of rotation is back to the northwest, like you were saying, just to the east of the Chickasha Airport. And I don't doubt for a minute what you were saying about the spin-ups in the Verdon area, Mike. We were south of Verdon and came across on the south end of Chickasha, and there were a couple of times that there were areas where we could have had something spin up, but couldn't confirm it visually. So haven't seen any power flashes or anything since back northwest of Summit, but we're tracking east of Chickasha here. We'll let you know if we see anything else, Mike.
Corey, thank you. Mark Diller joins us live. Some at least wind damage around Anadarko. Mark?
Yes, Mike, an immense amount of wind damage, especially along Highway 9, 62 here in Chickasha, in Anadarko proper, and quite a bit of flooding, a couple of stalled cars as well. In fact, we're having to go around the flooded area, and the trees are almost, in some cases, blocking the road. I believe emergency management has been out and is watching some of the areas that the trees are completely covering the road at. So, we've just got flooded areas. And just about every road I try to go down has got trees and flooded areas. So we're making our way to the east once we can get back on Highway 9 out of Anadarko here. But a lot of wind damage and heavy rains. Mike, back to you.
Okay, that's Mark Dillard with wind damage in and around the Anadarko area right now. That is Mark Dillard there from Caddo County. That's where the storm tracked a short while ago. So let's go back over to Max 1. So if you're joining us now, there's one beast of a supercell here with a very large mesocyclone, strong indications of multiple tornadoes inside the mesocyclone. It's centered one just west of Chickasha, damaging winds coming into Chickasha, possible tornado coming into Chickasha, and also one between the Chickasha Airport and Amber on the northern side of Chickasha. The mesocyclone's about 7 miles wide. It's very large, embedded in that damaging winds. There's high velocity inflow coming in. The wraparound on the rear flank downdraft is very strong. Looks like it's spinning up tornadoes where the inflow hits it. So there's a lot going on right here, and it's going to last a little while because the mesocyclone is so large. It's moving very quickly. That's the one good thing, but the mesocyclone being 7 miles across, your threat for damaging winds goes on for quite a while. There's your time of arrival. Still Norman at about 8 o'clock. So the River Wind Casino area before 8 o'clock, all right, 7:50. It's currently 7:20, 30 minutes away. No signs of this weakening. The hook's still wide open. Tornado warning continues. Inflow's exceptionally strong. Lots of lightning really picking up now in Norman. Also quite a bit of lightning in Moore right now. You're noticing that. So here's the mesocyclone. The red and the green coming together is the center of the spin. And we'll go ahead and keep going here and zoom on in. There's Chickasha. So the main spin is up here on the north side of Chickasha, very close to Amber, just to the south of Amber. Amber, you should be in your tornado safe spot. Highway 9, Tabler, Middleburg area, over toward Blanchard being your safe spot, and then eastward from there, Norman, the Riverwind Casino, over toward Slaughterville and Noble, and then Dibble and Blanchard, all right? So we're going to zoom on in. Here's the radar spin here showing the circulation there. Just coming rain. See the spin there and the velocity centered there on the north side of Chickasha, very close to Amber. And that's red line, center line for Blanchard and near Norman. Norman down through Noble, Slaughterville, North Purcell. That's where it's tracking. John Slater's in Norman right now. John? Go, John Slater. So John is located in Norman right now. Let's go back over to Emily Sutton here. Earlier, she was in Chickasha with sirens going off. Emily, where are you located right now?
Hey, Mike, Kevin Josephine and I are located in Blanchard. We're blasting east-northeast on Highway 9, and we did pause for a moment a few miles southwest of Blanchard, and I can confirm the powerful inflow you're talking about. We had winds really howling out of the southeast, and that confirms what you're talking about, this huge mesocyclone. You have to remember there's going to be dynamic winds. When you have such a large circulation, you're going to have a lot of dynamic winds feeding into the storm. What I also think is interesting, looking at the radar data, I'm noticing lightning bolts out ahead of the line, and we can see that as well. Tons of lightning happening out ahead of the main storm. So this isn't going away anytime soon. Very volatile situation here. Could have nighttime tornadoes, and it is heading towards the South Metro. It is still moving at a very fast rate, so we are going to continue our journey up towards Norman, and I'm just looking back behind me to see if we have any power flashes, but I can confirm the frequency of lightning has really gone up, Mike.
Emily Sutton, they're reporting live east of Chickasha right now. So let's go ahead and take a close look. We're going to take a close look here at the Oklahoma City metro area as well. So we're going to go back over to Max 1. And on Max 1, we're going to zoom on in here and take a look at Oklahoma City. So this is going to be Oklahoma City right here. So if you live in Oklahoma County, so you need to know that this is going to be a lot of heavy rain here. There's embedded areas of small hail, but there's no sign of any rotation anywhere in this. So we're talking about El Reno, Yukon, Piedmont, Mustang, Bethany, War Acres, downtown, Edmond, Deer Creek, Edmond. There's no sign of any rotation in this at all. Hail sizes are all under 1 inch in diameter right now. With that being said, the storm is intensifying, so there could be a little bit bigger hail than that. But if that comes across Oklahoma County in the shape it's in right now, I'm talking about Edmond down through South Oklahoma City, we will count ourselves lucky because this is not especially severe at all, and we can handle this. This will be a quick 1 inch of rain. Some wind, yes, damaging wind is possible, but right now there's no organized circulation inside of that storm coming into Oklahoma County. I do want to point out, though, things can change very, very quickly, but we literally take this minute by minute. It is severe, but no organized, dangerous circulation coming into Oklahoma County at this moment in time, 7:24 this evening. So this storm is just a monster down here coming out of Chickasha and Amber. Inflow in it. You can see the band here coming in on the north side of the mesocyclone. The storm basically is one big mesocyclone. The tornado warning continues, and this is coming right into Blanchard, South Newcastle, and Norman. Down through Noble, down through Slaughterville, near and north of Dibble. So this is very dangerous, and this is going to produce severe weather damage in the South Metro. I think we're locked in with that. There's a current tornado warning in effect, and the mesocyclone 7 miles across with embedded areas of tornado vortex signatures inside of it. Hail size is running about 2.25 inches in diameter with it, 2.25, about tennis ball. Corey Inman joins us live. Corey? Keep an eye on the...
Mike, sorry, I'm on 62 southwest of Blanchard, headed up towards the Blanchard area. The area rotation is back to my west-northwest, just a few miles here. Those areas that we were talking about with the little spin-ups that went through the Chickasha area, there's so much rain in there.
Go ahead, Corey.
There's so much rain in there, Mike, from Chickasha north almost all the way to Blanchard that and with it being nighttime, it's going to be hard to see. So anybody in the path of this storm needs to pay attention. Go ahead and take their tornado precautions. This is going to track right up into Blanchard. We're coming up on the south end of Blanchard right now. The area is just back to our west-northwest, Mike.
Okay, John Slater joins us now from Norman. John?
Hey, Mike. We're down here on the very west side of Norman, as far west on Robinson as you can go before the river. This storm is extremely electrical. We've got continuous lightning and continuous thunder with this storm right now. We're kind of zoomed in, looking off to our west-southwest, right towards that tornadic supercell. If you look closely, Mike, there's so much lightning, you can see lowerings underneath possibly what appears to be a ragged-looking wall cloud to my west-southwest. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it here from my naked eye. I don't know how it's showing up on my live stream, but the lightning is just continuous here, so we are getting a good view of what's going on underneath that wall cloud right now. Whoa, there's a nice bolt very close. So this storm, again, a very significant, strong rotation, at least 80-mile-per-hour straight-line winds is going to come across Interstate 35, somewhere near Norman or just south of Norman here as it crosses Interstate 35. At the very least, 80-mile-per-hour straight-line winds, if not a tornado. So a dangerous situation, plus lots of lightning ongoing, and we're at night, too.
John, we're going to go ahead and take a look. John's right down here in Norman. Let's go back over to Max 1. Okay, so this is the time right now where things are going to happen very, very quickly, all right? So you got to take it minute by minute. You want to protect yourself from damaging winds coming into the South Metro right now. The activity here that is severe, talked about it moments ago. No immediate sign of any tornado developing. However, with that being said, from Mustang through South Oklahoma City to downtown Oklahoma City, the South Oklahoma City area, there's high velocity winds in through here. They're picking up pretty quickly now, literally just in the past couple of minutes. It's on the northern edge of this very dangerous tornadic supercell with 80-mile-per-hour straight line winds plus, and tornadoes likely. Now east of Chickasha and northeast of Chickasha coming into Norman, all right? So there's going to be severe weather damage in here. This is high wind. Yukon Mustang, all right? So we're talking about Bethany, War Acres, the airport, Mathis Brothers, Hurricane Harbor, downtown Oklahoma City University, Will Rogers Park, Baptist Medical Center, all right? This is all happening very fast. These are quite severe. This is high wind here running about 80 miles per hour, all right? The kind that'll blow out windows. So this is coming in right now. The kind that'll blow out windows. So stay away from windows here. Yukon to Mustang. We don't want these little eddies in here to spin up, all right? We don't want them to spin up because there's high velocity wind right here. So stay away from windows. Central, west, and south Oklahoma City, stay away from windows. And if you look carefully, the velocities are coming up even all the way back to southwest of Piedmont, all right? So this is going to be a damaging wind event coming across Oklahoma County. And the winds may be 80 miles per hour. Let's go to our cameras, all right? Tornado warning continues coming through the Blanchard area, all right? Tornado precautions down there. Get in your safe spot now. Blanchard to Norman, all right? South Newcastle, tornado safe spot. Stay there. Let's take our cameras. So here's northwest Oklahoma City. Can we take the bank camera and look around to the southwest from the bank camera? And then Midwest City, we want to be looking to the west and the southwest from Midwest City, and also the Norman camera. Here's the bank camera. So this is looking to the south and the southwest. There's lightning, cloud to ground lightning coming in. This is a damaging wind event coming into Oklahoma City right now. Stay away from windows. Winds are going to be similar to a small tornado, to a weaker tornado. Winds are going to be similar to a weak tornado. 80-mile-an-hour winds could be higher. All right? That's enough to uproot trees, down power lines, down power poles. It's widespread damaging winds. This is Norman looking to the northwest right here. This is Norman looking northwest up there by Max Westheimer, looking northwest from North Norman up into South Oklahoma City. Let's go back over to radar. So the time is now. Everybody should be away from windows. and go to I think it's a safe thing to say, go to your tornado safe spot here. This is 80-mile-an-hour winds. It's a broad area of high-velocity winds, Yukon, Mustang. Check Mesonet there, Damien, on the wind gusts coming out of Canadian County. Right now, looking just right here, very close to 80 miles an hour. The bright green is right up there that high. So damaging wind event. Have to stress this completely, that you go to your safe spot away from windows. Winds could be similar to a weaker tornado, if there's such thing as a weak tornado, but 80-mile-an-hour winds. Plus, we don't want these to spin up into little eddies. Those could be developing weaker tornadoes. But this intensity has come up a lot just in the past 5 to 7 minutes. All the way across central and south Oklahoma City, through Midwest City, Del City, up toward the zoo, and the I-44 corridor, right? High velocity, damaging straight line winds. Blanchard through Norman, down to Slaughterville and Noble. Get in your safe spot and stay there until this passes. Very dangerous. Tornado warning here continues. Corey Inman now joins us live. Corey? Corey Inman, go.
Got the camera centered on that area of rotation. It's just to the south of Blanchard. It's moving off to the east-northeast. It was directly to the west of us there, Mike. There wasn't anything on the ground, but there was quite a bit of rotation in there. Looks like it's going to track just to the south of Blanchard, maybe come through the south end of Blanchard. But right now, nothing on the ground. You can see it there in the shot. We're turning to the northeast here and going to go through Blanchard up towards the Norman area. But we'll hang right here with it. Right now, nothing on the ground, Mike.
That's Corey Inman there. Let's go back over to radar. So if you're just now joining us, basically, severe storm up here west of Guthrie. There's been a noticeable increase in the intensity of all these storms just in the past 10 minutes. So these are quite severe now with high velocity damaging straight line winds. The wind will be from the southwest and the west and the northwest. So stay away from windows. Oklahoma County up into Logan County, Guthrie area, stay away from windows. These storms have definitely increased in intensity, showing a lot of high velocity wind. And this is on the northern edge of this big time supercell with the tornadoes down here in northeast of Chickasha now coming into Blanchard. High velocity winds in Newcastle. More, stay away from windows. Norman, tornado safe spot, go there, stay there. Talking about Newcastle as well. These storms definitely have increased in intensity, and this is 80-mile-an-hour winds right here. Yukon down to Mustang, now coming into Will Rogers World Airport. Hurricane Harbor coming into Bethany, War Acres. So all down the I-40 corridor from County Line and Rockwell and Morgan Roads eastward through the Mathis Brothers area, the Amarillo Junction area, South Oklahoma City, Will Rogers World Airport. The winds coming out of the west at a very high rate, locally at about 80 miles per hour. So don't take it lightly. That's like an inland hurricane. So these are going to be very high velocity winds coming in that will get your attention. So you want to stay away from windows, go to that tornado safe spot, and if you can, at least interior closet or bathroom, as this comes on in all the way across the metro, up to Lake Aluma and Forest Park, and all the way up toward Baptist, and even up toward near the KFOR studios, Britton Road, War Acres, Bethany. This entire area here, you see the motion there of the bright green, local winds of 80 miles per hour there. Here's the South Metro, show the motion there. So damaging straight line winds. Hail size is about 1 inch, inch and a quarter in diameter. It's mainly a big time damaging wind event for Oklahoma County. Let's go to Emily Sutton now in Moore. Emily?
Hey, Mike. Now we are in Norman, and we're blasting north on I-35. Traffic that are moving to the metro. We have a ton of crews that are coming from north as it is towards Norman. And then we have damaging straight line winds now moving into Oklahoma City. That's what we're watching closely. Remember, 70 mile per hour wind, that's a big, that'll cause damage, knock out power, and we want it off the roads. I know some later we talked about they're traveling on I-35. All cars are heading their way. You have to sit window and get in a safe spot, Mike.
Okay, Emily Sutton there. That's from the Moore area. So let's go back over to radar here. So for the metro, these storms have increased quite a bit in intensity. And that's our view there of the severe storm in Logan County, north of Guthrie there, a little bit of a notch forming. So damaging straight line of winds from Guthrie, North Guthrie, up to Mulhall, moving up into Payne County. So we're talking about McMurtry and Stillwater. So stay away from windows from Logan County into Payne County. And then high velocity winds here. Hail sizes not very big coming into Oklahoma County. It's mainly a damaging wind event, but these winds are very strong now coming into Oklahoma County. 80 mile an hour, like an inland hurricane, moving to the east at a high rate of speed. So everybody up and down the I-35 corridor from Mulhall, Guthrie, Edmond, Oklahoma City, stay away from windows. It's going to pack with quite a punch. Here's the wind velocities. You see these sweeping now in from Yukon into Bethany, War Acres, down to Mathis Brothers Hurricane Harbor, down to Will Rogers World Airport. Let's go to our downtown camera, looking to the southwest. Let's take a look at that, and we'll point down to the southwest from downtown Oklahoma City, and we can see if we see any type of wind event here from our downtown camera, looking to the southwest from downtown Oklahoma City. Let's check it out. So we're looking at this high-velocity wind coming on in. So there is downtown. There's the Oklahoma River right there. So we're looking for any signs of any power flashes here coming in to central or south Oklahoma City. The gust front here with high velocity winds now sweeping in to west Oklahoma City and now coming into central and south Oklahoma City. Let's go to our Norman cam. Take a look at the Norman cam looking northwest from Norman. And so northwest from Norman here, North Norman near Max Westheimer, looking to the northwest. You see all the lightning here, virtually continuous. So damaging straight line winds, the main threat for Oklahoma County, at least right now. The tornado threat still very much there for Norman. Blanchard over through Norman. Let's go back over to Max 1 here. So everybody should be in their safe spot here, definitely away from windows as this high velocity wind now sweeping in. See how fast it's moving now, moving in from the west. So this, the brightest green there is locally about 80 miles per hour. Lots of 50 to 65 mile per hour winds in that, locally about 80. Very close to Bethany and War Acres, down toward Will Rogers, quickly now traveling toward downtown Oklahoma City into south Oklahoma City, Valley Brook area, and then down into Moore as well. So the big circulation here now just to the west of Blanchard. It is now past Chickasha, so tornado warning here continues coming out of Grady County into McLean County. So the Blanchard area, stay alert, be in your tornado safe spot, and the Norman area, Slaughterville, Noble, also stay alert there. That tornado warning right up there into the edge of the panhandle of McLean County. Hail sizes there running a little bit lower now, looking at quarters to golf balls, a little bit smaller on the hail size now, quarters to golf balls, but that rotation there still quite significant near Blanchard. Let's go back over to John Slater. He's in Norman right now. John? Okay, let's go back over to Corey.
Mike, I'm here.
Go ahead, John.
I'm on the west side of Norman. That's right, Mike. On the west side of Norman here, West Robinson, right by the river. The storm is coming in right now. Lots of lightning with this storm, electrical storm. It's almost continuous lightning, continuous thunder. We're just starting to get some big, heavy raindrops right now. And the leading edge of the very strong straight line winds, as you have been talking about, 80 miles per hour, is about ready to hit us. It hasn't hit us yet. So we're right on the west, southwest part of Norman, looking off to the west, southwest. Lots of lightning here, and the rain is just coming in. We're not going to outrun this storm. It's moving so fast, so we're going to sit here and see what happens. There goes a really big lightning strike just off to our south there. We did hear some tornado warning sirens earlier, about 15 minutes ago. We don't hear those right now. That's the latest, Mike. Back to you.
Okay, that's John Slater there from Norman. Norman right now, looking at that activity down around Norman. Let's go back over to Max 1. So what we have to watch out here, and it's happening currently, we're getting little eddies starting to form in the gust front. So that is some localized spin right there. Where is that? Northwest Highway. Let's take our Northwest Highway camera, looking up Northwest Highway. Looks like a small tornado forming on the leading edge. These are called QCLS tornadoes here. Looking at Northwest Highway, just past the Baptist area, right up in here, looking up Northwest Highway, right in this area, looks like a little QLCS type tornado back over to velocities. So those are typically a little bit weaker compared to the classic supercell type tornadoes, back over to 1, the velocities. So that activity there is right on Northwest Highway to the northwest of 50 Penn and to the northwest of Baptist. But The important thing is there's a big area of damaging winds, but we're getting little eddies now forming on that line. Oklahoma-Canadian County line at Highway 3 is where that is located. That is a little QLCS small tornado there is trying to form, and that's going to have to cross the metro here. So damaging straight line winds, possibility of some smaller type tornadoes in Oklahoma County, literally anywhere in Oklahoma County going forward. So you want to be away from windows at the bare minimum, away from windows as this high velocity wind comes on in, but definitely the spin going on right now at County Line and Highway 3 for you folks in northwest Oklahoma City, and high velocity winds now. Will Rogers coming into South Oklahoma City, Southwest Integris Medical Center, downtown Oklahoma City. Let's take our downtown camera, take a look looking southwest from downtown Oklahoma City. Our downtown camera shows that gust front now literally coming into downtown Oklahoma City. So here's the Oklahoma River. You're looking south and southwest right here. So this high velocity wind is now coming in to all of western, now in to central Oklahoma City. Back over to radar. So severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma County. As of this very moment, there's not a tornado warning in effect, but some little leading edge, smaller tornadoes are definitely efforting to develop in Oklahoma County right now. The main, most dangerous circulation is down here near Newcastle right now, with the biggest hail at about 2 inches in diameter. Newcastle heading into Norman. The center of that circulation now near and north of Blanchard is where it's located right now. Near and north of Blanchard. Hail size running about golf ball, 1 3/4, perhaps 2 inches in diameter. We're also on our family of services radio stations right here in the metro, including KTOK. So if you hear us on the radio, let's go to Eric Dixon down in Noble right now. Eric?
Yeah, Mike, I'm down here in Noble, looking to the west. Right here at that notch, it's going to be coming over I-35. It does appear that there is some kind of a lowering, little eddies up in there. As this thing gets a little bit closer, we've got to keep a really good eye on it. As you can see, I've got the night cam on, so you can kind of see a little spiralation in that sky right up at the top. So you can tell there's some definite rotation up in there. We're going to keep an eye on it and track it back down Highway 9 for you there, Mike.
Okay, that is Eric Dixon there reporting from Noble. Let's go back over to John Slater down in Norman. John? John Slater down in Norman. John, are you there? So we're just looking very carefully for any tornadic activity in the metro right now. Currently, that one tornado warning continues down there very close to Blanchard, and still significant indications of a tornado now, basically coming right on down Highway 9. So let's go back over to Max 1 here and take a look at it. So this is quite possibly a tornado right here, just to the east of Blanchard, coming down Highway 9, directly toward the Riverwind Casino, is where it is right now. Just to the west on the Newcastle Highway. Newcastle Highway, Highway 9, strong indications of a tornado there coming right into the Riverwind Casino. The Riverwind Casino on the west side of Norman there on Highway 9, strong indications of a tornado there just to the south of Newcastle and just to the east of Blanchard. So the Riverwind Casino and Norman, immediate tornado precautions. Let's go back over to John here. John, tracking that right now from Norman. What do you see? Go ahead, John.
All right, Mike, we got very heavy rain right now on the west side of Norman. Okay, we are on West Robinson and 36th about right now, southwest side of Norman. Pouring down rain, no hail yet, lots of lightning. The strongest part of that storm is just off to our west-southwest. We're watching it closely. Up to 80-mile-per-hour winds potentially coming in very shortly into this area. So we're watching it closely, Mike. Back to you.
Terminal Doppler there. John, thank you. Let's go back over to, we're going to start you off here with Max 1, and then we're going to go over to Max 2. So continued, these winds have come down just a hair. They're 60, 65, pretty common. Locally, 65, 70 miles an hour downtown Oklahoma City. But these winds have come down just a hair in the past couple of minutes in Oklahoma County. It's damaging straight line winds in Oklahoma County. Power outages certainly possible. And then we have this tornado now coming into Norman Strong indications here. Tornado warning is in effect for Norman, the entire Norman area. Strong indications of a tornado now just to the west of the Riverwind Casino. Hail size is running about golf ball size currently. So here's the tornado circulation. You see it very clearly right here. It's embedded inside of that mesocyclone. Here's the tornado warning all the way up to North Norman, red line, center line for Norman, down through Noble. So down Highway 9, right through Norman. Everybody in Norman, tornado safe spot, away from windows, storm cellar or basement if you have it. And here is the area of spin located there just to the west of the Riverwind Casino right now. Let's go to Emily Sutton. She is in Moore. Emily?
Hey, Mike, right now we're traveling north on I-35, and we're right beside the exit for Southeast 51st, and we are waiting for these high winds to cross over I-35. There is a little bit of a concern, as like you were talking about on radar, the little notches we're seeing on this leading edge of the straight line winds moving into the metro. You can have brief little QLCS spin up. So this could cause some big power outages in the metro. We're watching it closely. We're just by Valley Brook area, and we're still traveling north, and the spray's already really starting to whip up. So we're preparing for these high winds as they move into the metro, Mike.
Okay, Emily, thank you so much for that. Let's go back over to radar here on 1. So what we have going on here is a tornado warning for Norman. So 1 tornado warning for Norman. That tornado there is just to the west of the Riverwind Casino, moving quickly to the east at about 40 miles per hour. You see the red and the green there. Clearly, you can see the spin. The tornado warning for the Riverwind, Highway 9, Noble, Norman, over through Pink and Little Axe and Lake Thunderbird. Tornado warning over to Twin Lakes over there on the county line with Pottawatomie County. And the tornado, clearly you can see it right here, just to the west of Norman. There's the OU campus. This is Highway 9. The Riverwind here located just to the west of I-35 and Highway 9. And that circulation with the tornado warning now literally a mile or so west of the Riverwind Casino. Northbound from there, there's high winds coming into Moore. It looks like widespread 60 to 65. These velocities look like they've come down just a little bit. And then we have these continued areas of what we call QLCS, leading edge tornadoes. One is trying to form, but it doesn't look like it's a closed circulation. One is trying to form on the southeast side of downtown, coming across the Dallas interchange, coming into Midwest City. You see the red and the green. Fortunately, it just turned cooler. See there, it got hot. Now it's cooled off. But it can easily redevelop very quickly. And then up here by the KFOR Studios, there's another one trying to form coming out of the village. KFOR Studios, Britton Road, the Broadway extension. There's another one trying to form right there. Little QLCS tornadoes. They're small. They typically are weaker in nature, but embedded in that is a lot of damaging wind. So back here, this is the KFOR Studios right here, looking out our window here from Channel 4. Let's go to Eric Dixon. He's located down in the South Metro with an update. Eric?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here just on the east side of Norman, looking to the west, towards that area of the Riverwind Casino. You can see on the shot with my night vision, there is a bit of a lowering back in there. I don't see anything on the ground just as of yet, but this thing is rocketing to the east, so there is a lot of traffic out here. The traffic needs to get cleared and go to your safe spot. There is a tornado warning out here. We're going to keep track of this as it heads to the east. Back to you.
Okay, Eric, thank you very much for that. So the wind velocities appear to be continuing to come down for Oklahoma County, which is very good news. The velocities continue to come down for Oklahoma County, so that trend is good. Let's go back over to Max 1. You still want to go ahead and be away from windows. So this storm is severe up by Mulhall, moving up into Payne County, so Lake McMurtry, Lake Carl Blackwell, Stillwater. That storm is severe up in northern Logan County. These velocities have come down. They went up fast, and they're coming down pretty quickly. It now looks like these velocities are around 60 or so, perhaps a bit less than that. So that's good news for Oklahoma County. Here's our view again outside, looking at the heavy rain and the wind coming through Oklahoma County. Might check the OG&E system watch also to see how we're doing on power outages here in the metro, kind of give you an update on power outages. We're getting reports of some folks without power in the wake of this line, and there's the system watch right there, 5,900 customers. So about 15,000 folks are without power. The biggest power outage appears to be in Yukon right now, and also up there on the west side of Guthrie. So that's the system watch showing the power outages, 5,900. Here's the Norman camera. The Norman camera here showing the wind and the rain coming through Norman. So lots of lightning. Let's go back over to radar. So a lot of heavy rain here. Oklahoma County, those winds have come down some. That's good. Still a tornado warning for Norman. So here's the wind. Notice the green got hot. Now it's not as hot. You can also see all the little eddies of spin. If you can see like a fluid of water, you can see things are spinning in a lot of different locations in Oklahoma County, but nothing has tightened up into that leading edge or QLCS, weaker type, smaller tornadoes. Nothing has been able to tighten up yet in Oklahoma County, so that's good news. Now down here in Norman, your tornado precautions, yes, continue to take those. That center, that circulation now right over the Riverwind Casino. There are power outages, a lot of heavy rain in Chickasha, scattered power outages in Grady County. So this is going to be the result of that damaging straight line winds and that really strong mesocyclone. And then we have golf ball size hail getting a little bigger now in that hail size in the Norman area. So here's more good news. That circulation near the Riverwind has weakened considerably. That's more good news. More good news right here. More good news. You can see it right there. It basically goes away. So that tornado looks like it, at least for the time being, is trying to dissipate. Here's John Slater in Norman. A quick update with hail in Norman. John? Right?
Hey, Mike, I don't know if you can hear me. We're at Robinson, I-35. It is coming right. We're getting extremely large hail. Well, at least quarter-size hail. Coming down very hard. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. We're Robinson and I-35, just to the west of Robinson. 35 West Norman. The winds are about 40, 50 miles per hour right now, and we're getting at least quarter-sized hail coming down with very heavy rain. That's the latest report here, west side of Norman. Looking at radar, Mike, that tornadic circulation is coming right towards us, so we're watching it very closely. Back to you.
Say it again. Let's go to Emily Sutton near downtown Oklahoma City right now. Emily? So, Emily, if you can hear us, tell us where you're located right now. Has some hail. So let's go back over to radar here. This is Emily Sutton here in the South Metro. So severe up here, Mulhall heading to Stillwater. The winds have come down in Oklahoma County. That's a lot of good news. They came up very fast and they came down very fast. Right now the winds appear to be all under or right at 60. In Oklahoma County. There is some hail in Oklahoma County. It's not incredibly large hail. The big hail's down here in the Moore, Norman area. That storm's still severe, still has a tornado warning in effect. The winds, the hot green, you see the hot green went up and now it's going down to cooler green. The wind velocities are coming down some, still running about 60 or so in Oklahoma County. Little signs of little leading edge tornadoes trying to spin up, but nothing has been able to close off, so that's good. So basically just a straight line wind event. Let's check the OG&E system watch again. We had 5,900 customers a couple of minutes ago, and where are we right now? 5,750, so it's come down a couple of hundred customers, but we'll see what happens when the metro here gets impacted like it is right now, whether or not that goes up or down. Back over to radar here. So if you live in Oklahoma County, stay away from windows. Hail sizes are not very big. The bigger hail's down here in Cleveland County with that tornado warning for Norman continuing. This is bigger than golf ball size hail. Let's go back to Emily Sutton here with a live update. Emily?
Hey, Mike. Kevin Josephy and I are driving right past the Capitol. We're heading north on I-235, Broadway Extension, and the wind, we let that wind kind of overtake us. And I would say it got up to about 50, 60 miles per hour, I believe. Kevin Josephy was holding on tight to the steering wheel. We're trying to see any indication of power flashes, an indication of a QLCS. We did not have that. However, this torrential downpour, I can see why we are under a flood warning for the metro as the rain is coming down at a deluge. And it's very hard to see. People are slowing down as they should. But you'll have a bunch of high winds with that initial line and then some very heavy rain. Haven't really seen any hail yet, but there's likely going to be some street flooding in the metro. Mike?
Rainfall rates running about 2.5 to 3 inches per hour, and we are getting those wind gusts confirmed between 40 and 60. Pretty common in a large part of Oklahoma County, but there's no big hail up in Oklahoma County. So the KFOR studios here at Britton Road, the Broadway extension, heavy rain, pockets of small hail. Here's the wind. See sheets there blowing through, lots of 40, 50, 55 mile an hour winds. We can handle that, but that definitely is some pretty rowdy wind coming in from the northwest now. Temperatures are cooling off, and we're under a flood advisory. So in flood-prone areas, the water is going to come up very fast. And Chickasha down there's had a lot of rain, so flooding down into Grady County as well. And here's our other camera view, and yet another camera view showing all the 40, 50, locally near 60, and pockets of pea and dime size for Oklahoma County. No big hail right now in Oklahoma County. Back over to Max 1. The big hail's down in Moore and Norman right now. Clearly, golf ball are a little bit bigger in Norman. Tornado warning continues for Norman. Stay in your safe spot away from windows. If we go back to John Slater here with an update, he had pretty big hail, almost golf ball size. John, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. We're getting just a little bit of a low as you toss to me, Mike. I'm here, Robinson I-35, just west of Robinson I-35, West Norman, and we had at least quarter-size hail, probably larger. Golf ball size hail with about 40, 50 mile per hour winds. It just kind of passed by. We did get some damage. You probably can't tell from our shot here, but our windshield is cracked, unfortunately, here. So we got some pretty heavy hail. About 5 minutes ago, the Corps came in. It was probably at about golf ball with about 45 mile per hour winds. We were sheltered, basically, with a building just off to our west here, trying to get sheltered from that big hail, but still we got a little damage here to the vehicle. Right now, just extremely heavy rain. All of a sudden, the hail is gone, and about 40, 50 mile per hour winds here on the west side of Norman. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much. Let's go over to Max 2. Here's some of the wind that came through Yukon a short while ago. We were talking about the winds that jumped up to really high velocity out in Canadian County and blew into far west Oklahoma City. Here is a view here from Kennedy showing the wind and the spray when it was higher velocities out here around Yukon and Mustang. And that looks to be every bit of 60 to 65 mile per hour winds. Those winds came down as they came into Oklahoma County. So that's really good. That was just a very short while ago. That's not quite live. That's about 10, 12 minutes ago, but clearly some high velocity, 65, maybe locally close to 70 mile an hour winds in Canadian County. That's what's blowing through the metro Oklahoma County right now. Back over to radar. So as we look at radar, the biggest hail's in Norman down to Slaughterville and Noble right now. There's a pocket of small hail in South Edmond and North Oklahoma City, not too far from Oklahoma Christian and the Kilpatrick, but it's not big hail. So here's the area of spin. The tornado looks like it has dissipated, at least for the time being, right around Norman, which is good news. You see it was there, the red and the green coming together, and then it went away. And it's going to try, if it does, redevelop there on the east side of Norman. But you continue under the tornado warning in Norman, but that tornado dissipated very, very quickly. You see the red and the green there just literally go away. And here's John Slater's hail from a short while ago, just about 10 minutes ago. He had locally about golf balls there for a short period of time, had his windshield spidered there by the golf ball size hail in Norman. That's where the biggest hail is right now. The most severe storm is in Norman. Let's go back over to radar here. So eastbound from here, damaging winds, still a threat of tornadic activity, but right now no indications of any tornadoes in Oklahoma County or in the metro for that matter. And these wind velocities are not as strong as they were earlier. Lots of 40, 50, and locally 60 mile an hour winds. There's over toward the zoo and Lake Aluma and Frontier City right there. Still a little indication there of some little thing trying to do something by Frontier City, but it's not doing it, which is good. Basically just straight line winds. But little QLCS tornadoes try to form, but they're not quite getting it done. And that's good news. So flooding continues in Grady County. Flood advisories for McLean County, up into Cleveland County and Oklahoma County. For you folks down in Velma, Alma, Stevens County, a line of severe storms here. There's severe thunderstorm warnings here. And this is Highway 81, Velma, Alma, Fuquay, Hilton, over toward Katy, Elmore City, Fox, and on down toward Waurika and Ryan, moving to the east at around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So that's an update for you folks. Severe thunderstorm warnings, yes. Damaging winds, yes. Hail size running quarter to golf ball in this part of the state. Here's the South Metro. Let's go to Corey Inman. He's located just south of Norman right now. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, I'm down here around the Purcell area. A lot of very heavy rain and some big hail moving from Dibble over towards Purcell. Had close to golf ball size hail back in the Dibble area, but since then have seen about $half, quarter size, but just a tremendous amount of rain. Not a lot of wind along with it. The winds have kind of died down. Back to the there in the Anadarko area, Mike, do have a confirmed report of shingle and tree damage to the southeast of Anadarko, and that would have been just to the west of where that tornado was that we had there to the northwest of Cement. So there is some confirmed damage down there, and these things have turned into a wind and heavy rain event as they've moved off to the east. Mike, back to you.
So Corey, tell us your location again right now.
Right now, I am west of Purcell. I was right on the leading edge of this.
On the west side of Purcell currently. That's Corey Inman. So he's basically right there in the South Oklahoma City metro on the west side of Purcell right now. Let's go back.